Well, hello everybody, and Merry Christmas, my chickadees. Was that too deep a reference? I was too old. I know. I went Shirley Temple on them. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, that guy was a famous drunk. But nevertheless, glad to have you here on Christmas, a drunk holiday in most places of the world. Mm.
That's
Uh,
true.
it is, here in the strangeness of Tokyo, because Tokyo is not Japan. I've tried to emphasize this many, many times, because Tokyo is weird, right? But
Yeah.
Christmas in Tokyo has become the one night stand capital of the world. Did you know that?
Interesting. So I need to come to Tokyo.
I guess at least they're having sex once a year. That's enough for the ladies, I guess. But yeah, Tokyo. It's so that's not Japan, right? But Tokyo is such a weird ass place. But I was watching the Black Pigeon Speaks. He lives in Tokyo, but I like his video. You ever watch his videos?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's pretty
Felix.
good.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
Yeah.
his real name. Maybe it is. But Felix Rex. But I like his channel. It's interesting. He's talking about current topics. He's living in Tokyo. He's a I don't know exactly what he does, but he's some kind of high-end production guy for one of the companies in Tokyo, maybe a TV channel, NHK or something like that. But you could tell it in his production value is super high. That's what he does for a living. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. Who else do you enjoy on the YouTube? Who's one of your standards?
I don't really watch much YouTube anymore. Um, I've tried to cut it down as much as possible just because it became a massive time sink.
Hmm.
But before I did that, I would watch his occasionally. It wasn't very often, but I'd catch him every now and again. I'm trying to even think. I had kind of checked out of like most of the political guys or the guys like talking about that kind of stuff simply because they just became very redundant.
Yeah, well,
And
they've already
I
said
have
what they have to
completely
say, right? You know.
yeah they're out of material. And
Mm.
I've completely and utterly signed off on politics for the most part. I mean, I'll talk about them, but I don't expect anything to change until we get to Caesar. Because until somebody's ready to go in there and actually take some skulls, it's not going to matter. Nothing
That's
matters
true.
until that
That's
happens.
true. Well, Elon wants to be it, but we'll see. But
He seems to.
He wants to be, yeah. But you know what I watched over the weekend? It was great. I watched a series on building your very own Norwood portable sawmill.
Oh boy.
Mm, it was great.
Oh boy.
Had an old ancient man that's been a sawyer from since he was two. Yeah. He remembers George Washington when he was very young. But I love that kind of shit. My wife always kind of looks at me sideways. It's just really, the thing is, if I ever find myself in a situation where I need to build a Norwood portable mill, I can build it. I most certainly
He
can.
can build it.
I'm capable.
He
I'm
can do
ready
it.
for that circumstance. But I love that kind of stuff. But a lot of times, what I do, it's weird. I never got into podcasts because they're actually built for me, but I don't. I didn't. I just use YouTube. But I have it on the side of me while I'm working at the computer. So mainly
Mm,
I'm listening more than I'm looking, right?
right.
And I actually watch a lot of that kind of content. I don't watch too much actual political stuff. I'll unless because I want it to be entertaining. I want something interesting, right? I'll
Mm,
watch Sargon's new channel there, the Lotus Eaters, from time to time because they're funny. They're just
mhm.
very British lads.
They
Sargon.
are very British.
They
That's
are,
true.
and it's kind of funny to listen to their opinions and takes on stuff. But I listened to that one, and I haven't listened to Alex in years, Alex Jones. But I used to watch Alex, but then he became insufferable. I'm not against his
Mm.
opinions and stuff, but I just couldn't listen to him for very long because he was pushing that shtick too much. But it's the same thing with Young
Yeah.
Turks. I used to watch them all the time. They were fun. They used to be great fun. And then Cenk, lost his goddamn mind or something.
Well, he sold his soul.
He did. He did something, dude. Because they used to be great fun. I used to love watching them, and then it was like, ooh, hold on a second.
One of the people I do watch fairly regularly, he's like a business YouTube guy. His name's Alex Ramosi.
Hmm.
He's pretty awesome. I'd recommend him. I think you'd enjoy some of his takes. He's a younger guy. He's younger than me even. He's like 32, but he's worth like $100 million.
Oh, sweet.
Um, but he's just one of these guys who's just hardcore about business.
One of
and
yeah, one of these
it's interesting.
so-called Sigma males. Have you seen that?
Well, he's not, but yeah, but I know what you're talking
It makes me
about.
laugh.
He's
What the
married.
hell's a
He
Sigma
runs
male?
his business. He runs his business with his wife,
Sweet.
and they yeah, they apparently they kill it because he said because a lot of these you'll get on YouTube, you'll see these guys talking about business, how to make money, and da da da, and most of them are trying to sell you something. Right? It's all just a
Of
big
course.
lead generator to
It's the
try and
whole
get you
point.
onto their course or whatever. He's not doing that. He even says right out of the gate, "I have nothing to sell you. These videos are just for entertain or just for education and entertainment." He's also, and then I'll be honest, he says, and I'm also trying to hook big, bigger companies through these. Basically, I'm not trying to hook random people.
Hmm.
So, because what he does is he owns a company called Acquisition.com, and what it does is he'll buy into part of your company, and then his goal is to grow it 10 to 100 times within the next few years.
Yeah, sure. That's what an
But he
entrepreneur
uses
does.
those videos. Yeah, he uses those videos as a hook, right? To try and get those kind of people in by providing value as much as
Sure.
possible, and it helps him grow his own personal brand and stuff.
Hmm.
But I just appreciate that he gives out a ton of valuable, amazing business stuff that's genuinely brilliant. Like he's probably a genius, even though he doesn't admit it. Um, and he does it completely for free. Like he obviously gets YouTube money, but that's it. He doesn't ask for anything from the audience at
Yeah.
all,
Well, you
and I
see,
appreciate that.
yeah, first off, Roger, Ethereal Dragon, Merry Christmas. Glad to have you guys here. But of course, everyone's trying to sell something. I mean, that's just the way it
Yep.
is in general. But I've really kind of appreciated this pop I've seen recently, where which is why I made the joke about Sigma male. But this pushing of men trying to support each other to be
Yep.
better. And
Yep.
and and that's a good thing. And of course, I don't think anyone seems cares if women want to come along for the ride. But it
Right.
really is focused more toward trying to teach men, hey, like Jordan Peterson said, make your goddamn bed, clean your room, right?
Yeah. Get
Uh, you
get
know,
get out there and do some push-ups.
do
Get
something,
yourself in shape.
a little bit of exercise. I don't have to do much. I mean, when I was young, I was pretty fit, right? But
Hmm.
these days, I'm not the same level, of course, but I still get out there and just kind of put in a little bit of movement, get the blood moving 30 minutes a day. Not much, not in
Yep.
great shape, but it doesn't matter. Just a little bit of involvement in your life. Don't become a couch potato and just simply turn off. And
Right.
you've seen a lot of that, and that's what makes me laugh about Sigma male thing because this whole alpha, beta, sigma thing is really dumb. I mean, let's be fair, because most men on the planet are beta, and
Correct.
what they're talking about, you would classify more as a gamma or a delta, if you really wanted to
Yep.
use these
Sigma just
numerals
sounds
in
cooler.
yeah, I know, but if you wanted to use it in the correct way, and sigma is a completely different thing anyway. But
Yep.
because the average man is a beta, and that's a good thing. The
Yes.
gammas are the ones that kind of carry on and help, and the deltas are the ones that have lost their way, right? I mean,
Right.
technically, if I were going to use that terminology, and alphas are radically rare, right?
Yep.
And as it is true, and this whole sigma idea of the man who just doesn't give a shit and he's turned off from the world, yeah, that's just someone who's fed up with your bullshit.
That's any man given
That's
enough
any
time, if he's a
woman. That's
man.
any person that's fed up with your shit. But
um,
I just love these
no, I think
terminology
it's
because
good.
they're so dumb, dude.
I think we're seeing a lot of. So there's a theory. I don't know how true it is, but there's a theory that the Dark Ages were caused largely by the church's emasculating of the man, because the Romans venerated the man and masculinity. Like they literally had religions based around religious idols about it.
Oh
All
yeah,
their
sure.
statues were big and ridiculous, and
Crazy
giant
testosterone everywhere.
muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they venerated masculinity. It may be too much, but they still did it. Whereas once Christianity took over, it became a much softer religious state insofar as the way they presented it. Now they were still brutal, but
Well,
they would tell you nice things while they were brutal.
well,
Um,
people really forget some very important things. We have these images of senators in these robes, right? This is our modern
yep.
image. That's not how they dressed at all. That's not how they
No.
dressed at all, right? And we also forget, especially with Christianity, like Catholicism, specifically Catholicism. Christianity is a different
Yes.
conversation, but with the Catholics or the Universal Church, look how generic it is. We forget that they're all Galileans. And we forget
Yeah.
where the word Galilean comes from. It doesn't come from a place named Galilee, by the way. That didn't come around until much later. That little town didn't even exist during this
Mm,
era, right? A galley priest is a priest that has literally been castrated and
that's
dresses
right.
like a woman to embody the feminine of the god, right?
That's correct.
That's what a Galilean is. And the Catholics leaned into almost completely Galileanism, right?
Yes.
And what they weren't supposed to, that wasn't the point. It was a certain sect to venerate the feminine of the god, the feminine
Right.
side of Janus, right?
Which they do as well, and they still do today with the
They still do.
veneration of Mary.
Of course. Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's just the
but
words are
regardless of
changed.
that, I'm not even like trying to crap on them necessarily.
Oh,
My
I
point is that at that time they were very anti-masculine for
oh
various
yeah.
reasons,
They
and
literally
they
had
were
no
attacking
balls.
men, cutting
Literally.
men down. It was very similar to what we have today. Whereas men could do no right, they were trash, garbage, blah 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 blah. Blah. They had different terms
Oh
for it,
yeah.
but it's the same thing.
Transgenderism was
Nothing but
rampant.
negativity,
Yeah. You talk about
and it
the so-called
created
fall, yeah.
it created an age of ignorance
Mhm.
where a lot of knowledge was lost to history or whatever, and the men were weak and they became serfs and were easily ruled and governed by these
True. And
people.
keep in mind, there was also a bit of a cataclysm going on at the time that
Yes.
caused huge amounts of migration and troubles, and all there's been several of these. And I love the historians; they get all confused. We don't know what happened. One of the big ones is like in the end around the 1000 BCE, around that time, 1300
Yep.
BCE. They're like, oh, the sea people, who were they? And there's like, how many fucking books written on that? Well, dude, God, Santorini went off. It's counted as the sixth largest volcano in the history of the planet.
Yeah.
It's gonna fuck some shit up for a long
Yeah.
time, and it did.
And it did.
Yeah,
But
this
what got us out of that? What was
the
the
Greeks.
Renaissance? Yes. And what did the Greeks also venerate? Masculinity
Oh
and
yeah,
masculine power.
yeah, and
It was the
feminine power too. Let's
Renaissance
be fair.
man, yes, the Renaissance man that created the Renaissance. It wasn't some grand it wasn't nothing but a bunch of men who decided they were worth more than nothing and forced that reality into existence through
Right.
knowledge and through hard work and through protecting each other and, like you said, holding each other up, lifting each other up,
Hmm.
not tearing each other down at every
That's
possibility.
true.
They reformed Christianity into the Protestant Reformation, and even Catholicism reformed. They reformed it dramatically, caused unbelievable amounts of bloodshed to do it, but they
Yeah.
got it
Well.
done,
Yeah.
and gave everything that we have today is because of those men.
Oh
That
yeah.
that 400 to 500 year stretch of brilliance.
Yeah. Yeah.
My
That's
point
true.
is, I've said it for a long time. I've said it on here. We are on a precipice. We're either going into a new dark age or we're going into a new renaissance. If
Yeah.
that is what is going to happen with the young, because it's a lot of young men. I see this all over now. Young men out here striving for excellence. My generation
Yeah.
didn't
Good
do
for 'em.
that. Your generation didn't do that. This is new. This is
No,
new.
that'd be
First time we've seen
Grandpa's
it in a long
generation.
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. And that is potentially the only thing that could stop the oncoming darkness, because the people at the top want the serfs back. The elite want their serfs back, but the only thing that stops serfdom is when the people are like, no, this is stupid. This is a dumb
Mm.
situation. Why am I paying fealty to this moron who's inbred and retarded when I could be out here making way more, doing way more, because he hid knowledge from everybody for
True.
centuries or whatever?
Yeah.
I honestly think that's where we're at, and I
Oh,
hope
maybe.
that's what happens.
It would be
Genuinely,
nice. I mean, especially for everyone's, mental health and happiness. But I kind of wonder
yeah,
how many times in history women just kind of look over at us and just go, "There they go again."
yeah,
I mean, I mean, the poor women. I mean, because it's not in the way a feminist would say it, because that's not real. But it just having to deal with these upstarts of men from time to time, because and I'm
yep,
kind of curious. I wish someone would tell me. I missed the memo.
Uh-huh.
Where, because I've been hearing a lot, women, were oppressed in the 50s. It was horrible, or in this century or that century. And it's like,
Correct.
who told you that? Where to give
Feminists.
me your evidence, please? I mean,
Marxists.
well, I mean, but it's ridiculous. Give me one moment in time that women have actually been oppressed outside of slavery. I mean,
Yep.
that's a little bit of different conversation, right? That's a different conversation. But in
Or
general,
if they were oppressed, quote unquote, at all, the men were equally as bad, if not worse.
or usually worse, usually worse.
Yeah.
But I mean, they never take that into account. But I just like, who told you this? Where did you get this information? Women, the 50s. This is the one that gets me the most. Like, it just gets my craw up, dude. The 50s
Yep.
is considered what? What is it? What's the world golden fucking age?
Yes. For like everybody on the planet. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it was really
Everyone.
upward turn. Yeah, I mean, America was leading the way, and we were
Yeah.
wealthier than everybody else, sure, because they had all just been obliterated. But
That's right.
it was a golden age. Women were that so extremely happy in that period. What are you going on about, dude? It's
Yep.
just, where do you get this information? It just where? Who
Well, they'll
told you
cite
this?
nonsense. They'll cite nonsense like a woman couldn't get a credit card without a man. Okay, listen, I wish that was still the law. I wish no one could get a credit card without incredible uh, resources to back it. Because
Once
one
again,
of the major problems we have in this country right now is there's too much credit, and all it is serfdom.
dude.
It's just neo serfdom. You're
Credit
being
cards
tricked.
didn't
Stop it.
become a thing until the 90s. What are they talking about?
Well, they had them. They were just not
Yeah,
anywhere
but
near as
yeah,
proliferate.
executives,
Yeah.
CEOs,
Well,
the
that's what
billing
they want.
managers at companies. Yeah, sure.
That's what the feminists want. You see, they complain that they don't get the same jobs as men, but they don't want the same jobs as men. They want the nice jobs that some men
Oh, that's
have.
a whole nother
That's what they
conversation,
want.
but that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it just kills me, dude. Especially when they get on about the Middle Ages, women were horribly oppressed. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Go look at the day in the life of a man in the Middle Ages, you fucker.
Yeah.
What are you on about, dude? It's just dumb, and it's as if
And then your whole life could change immediately because the local count or baron or whatever decided he needs an army for
or
some
needs
reason.
something
So
because he's being pushed
now
for
you're in.
taxes. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now
No,
you're in
that's
and you're
true.
fighting to the death for somebody who doesn't even know your name.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's very, very true throughout history. Men have always been, abused in that way. But it's just, just for a minute, people, especially when we look at the history, we go back deep in history. It's like you do realize humans are human, right?
That's right.
If you go back 40,000 years and find a bunch of humans, they're talking about the same dumb shit we're talking about, right? That people are people, dude. And in what period of history do you think women are going to sit back, unless they're in chains, and take any kind of shit from men? When have women ever taken any shit from us? Ever? It's
It's
just
true.
so dumb. It's just, look at it realistically, and look what all your bitching and all your moaning. What has it done? Men have done what we always do. We give you exactly what you want. We always do, right? And now look what you've created. Look what you've done. It's incredibly unbalanced. You're fucked up all these young girls all over the Western world. Things are way out of sync. There's no balance. Happiness is rock bottom for the ladies. Where we know with men, because of our just our standardness of being male, our happiness doesn't really shift much. And because
Okay.
men are way better at dealing with radical changes in your life. We're just, and it makes sense too, because we were kind of built to do that, right?
Yep.
Women are much more sensitive to radical changes. But and so you have the happiness of women is at an all-time fucking low, I think, outside of just absolute scathing rape and pillage of your country or town or village or whatever. I'm
Yep.
sure that sucks. Yeah.
That
But
doesn't sound fun.
yeah, it doesn't sound fun, but you know what I mean. It's like, look what you've done, and it's our fault. It is our fault. It's men's fault because we
Well, it's not
always.
my fault.
Well, no, it is our fault. You particularly are responsible. No, because we always give women what they want. We always
That's
do.
true.
and there's
It's
times
literally the
when we
oldest
need to
story.
not do that.
It's literally one of the oldest stories in the world. The fall of Adam. Is he
Yes,
gave
dude.
his wife what she wanted and cost him paradise.
It
That's
cost
what
him
it cost him.
everything. This is what we do. It's the nature of men. It's our whole point is to
We're very giving.
support and protect and build for the woman, the mother particularly.
And the
It's just so
reality is,
outrageous, dude.
we'll never, and we shouldn't want from women. We'll never get the acknowledgement that men deserve for it. But here's the kicker, men: you shouldn't want it from women. You know who you should want it from? Your peers, which are going to be other men. Other men are
Yeah,
the
but
only ones who can
it's
actually support you in an emotional way.
true.
Women don't give a shit about your emotions. They
No,
don't
they
care if
don't.
you're
That is
upset.
true.
They don't.
But
They
it
only care if you're upset at them, and sometimes not even then.
that's
What?
really pushing against the DNA, though, dude. It
I know,
really is.
but
It's
that
not
is
your
what we're
nature.
talking about.
It is.
When men decide that they're worth more than nothing, and they come together to better each other, irregardless of women, regardless of women. Women are over here. They're going to be over there waiting for you when you're ready. When they get themselves together, get themselves ready, get themselves in shape, they get in the gym, or they get working out, or they get making money, or doing all of it together, which is what you should be doing. Uh, and they get a group of men around them that are brothers that will fight with them and die with them if need be. Like they have that kind of kinship. When you have that, everything else is a lot easier. When it comes to women, when it comes to just life in general,
Mhm.
and when we see these things starting to this movement that is happening, and part of it was started by Peterson. I'll give him his credit.
Oh yeah,
You
he
have other
deserves
guys
some
out here
credit. Yeah.
like Andrew Tate, who is really pushing the young guys to get out there and hustle, which is good.
He's not
Um,
that smart. Have you ever listened to him? I actually
yeah,
took a
but
moment to listen to him. Yeah.
he doesn't have to be
No,
because he's
no, I
effective.
suppose not. Yeah.
Um, but regardless, you have guys like him, you have his brother too, and there's others out there as well who are just like I said. There's a whole bunch of young guys who are out here pushing this narrative, and
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
get off your ass and
That's
do
a very good
something
thing.
is basically what they're
Yeah.
saying. And that's fair.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, Merry Christmas, everybody. But the good thing though is it's that we're talking about a movement. We're not talking about the general reality because women are and men
Correct.
are just what they are. Because a lot of us are in a situation like me, where of course my world revolves around my wife, obviously, and my family, and her as well. Or her, I mean, I'm in her thoughts every day of what when she's shopping or doing this stuff. I'm in her thoughts all the time. I'm the center of her
Correct.
world, as she is mine. Obviously, right? Because we're partners facing the world together, right? That's kind of the
Right.
point. And I think there's a large number. I don't know the percentage, but a huge percentage, probably the majority of people who live in that world. I do think there's a certain demographics, particularly in America, that have huge problems, and there's a few people trying to fix it. Particularly amongst the black community, they seem to be in the most turmoil. And it's just outrageous how been completely destroyed, dude.
Yep.
And who did it to him? Who did it to him? Yeah, those ones, promising riches.
Well, they didn't listen to my ancestors. And the old saying goes, the scariest words you can ever hear are "I'm from the government and I'm here to help you."
Yeah, yeah,
They
that's one
didn't
of
listen.
Reagan's greatest quotes. Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
Uh,
he's not wrong.
he's
He's
not
not wrong.
wrong. He's right. But it is. There are some problems. But I think in general, even though we hear a lot of noise, the majority of people are living the normal life. I think so. I'm not over here. It's definitely true. I'm not in the West, but I would think that the
It depends
majority of
where you
people.
go. The cities are lost.
They
If you're
are,
in one
but
of the
they're
if
always
you're in
kind of
one of the
like that.
major cities and you can get out of it, get out of it. Yeah, it's just for whatever reason when people get in big cities, they become monsters. I don't know why, but it has nothing to do with race or anything. It's all over the world. You get these big conglomerate cities together, and eventually people
Well,
just become
it's
monsters.
because
It's very weird.
the politics are front and center. And in the countryside, they're not. I mean, people are busy. They
That's
they're
true.
they're farming, they're doing the shit they're doing. They just don't have much time for it. Maybe once or twice a year they go to some rally or something. But in the city, it's
Right.
constantly in your face politic because you have groups of people that are fighting for control and power. So they're constantly in your face with it. That's the main problem, I think. It's just the ever presentness of politic. And where the countryside people just don't have time for it. It's a
Yep.
practical thing, you know. But it
Could be.
has gotten to a point, though. The problem is in America, the cities and the countryside are basically 50-50 as far as populations. And this is a problem because when you get yourself in the city generation after generation and you can't afford to actually live in that city, you really can't. You need subsidy. And people are just terrified to move on and try something else.
Right.
It's our nature to find, all mammals particularly, it's are lazy by nature, and it's simply a conservation of energy. It's basic biology, right? And this affects us just as much as any other animal. And the people just get caught in these ruts. So you're living in a place you can't really afford to be, and therefore the only way you could be there is subsidy, and the politicians are happy to give it to you because they want your vote, right? And
Hmm.
it's this ever degrading, cycle of politic and poverty. And this is what the cities have become. And it's unfortunate because cities can be very valuable and important. They can be. But right now, especially when you look at America, it's just the balance is literally 50-50. And I'd say it's probably even leaning a bit more toward the cities. And they have a lot of political push, and the countryside people are the ones that are feeding your ass,
Yeah.
So
Well, that's how civil wars pretty much always
that
start.
it's there's some politicians sees an opportunity, but like in the
Yes.
Netherlands we're seeing this popping off. The cities are trying to demand the countrysides to do certain things, and the countryside, yeah, well, fuck it, then we won't feed you.
Yep.
I mean, because the countryside has all the power, actually.
They got all the food.
They do. And if they organize themselves and shut you down, that's when things get ugly.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, you might not be too far off from that in America. Although the bankers have kind of hedged their bets though, because they brought in one of their companies there called Monsanto, and they bought everything.
Yep.
So then that's what they're doing. That's why BlackRock and Monsanto and other places like that own so
Bill
much.
Gates.
Well, yeah, yeah, but it's the bankers and their lackeys like Bill Gates that are just trying to hedge their bets and control the market is what they're trying to do, right? Because in the end,
Yes.
these people live in a different reality than you do, and they don't really care about your happiness in any way, shape, or form. And they try different tactics from time to time to see how best for them to manipulate the situation, and we're just currently in this highly feminized, breaking of the masculine. But is it an actual plan from their part where they sat down and schemed at a table? Maybe, probably not. They want a result, and they're getting the result, and they could give a shit what kind of chaos it causes. This is a problem. But it is a big part of it. And I'm kind of lucky. I live underneath the TriStar here in Japan,
Hmm.
because there are, when we talk, everyone wants to talk about the Rothschilds and therefore their Bilderberg control group, right? But and
Yep.
it's fair enough. They are powerful as shit, fair enough. But there are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of these banker groups around the world, dude. I mean, there's
Yep.
lots of them vying for power. This isn't one group, dude. It's that how you hear the conspiracy theories with the Illuminati constantly, right? And it's like, well,
Right.
do the Illuminati or whatever they call themselves exist? Yeah, sure. They're called the Bilderberg Group, and they've been around a long time. But it's not the only a game in town, dude, right? And I live
Right.
under the TriStar, and the TriStar guys, which I have no clue what their names are, right? They're better at it than the European ones. The European ones, we know their names, we can name them. The ones here in Japan, I have no clue who they are. But they are a banking group, and they're not as powerful as some of the European ones, but they do have a lot of power. worldwide. And the thing about the TriStar Group is they actually are very. It's very important to them that Japan be stable and successful. How fucking
Hmm.
lucky are we, dude? Right? I mean, because at
They
least
haven't.
they actually care about. They don't care about me, but they care about the country itself. And
Yeah.
that's quite different, especially when you look at you're an American. These people are Europeans. They don't care about you. I mean, keep in mind, as an American, you've always been this loud, noisy, childish upstart from the Europeans' point of view. They always
Hmm.
look down on us, and they always will, because they see us as these just as children, right? That's how they see us. So, would you think they're going to care about your happiness or even your welfare? Of course not. You're a foreigner. You're literally a
Right.
foreigner from their point of view. Where I'm lucky, I live in a place where the banking control system here and the TriStar Group, they are Japanese, right? I'm not, but I benefit from it. And sometimes they'll work with those European groups. Sometimes they won't. Right now, they're not at all because they're supposed to be buying American bonds to pump up that market to try to stabilize it. And they, for some reason, I don't know why, but some reason they're like, nope. Mm-mm, mm-mm, not doing it. Straight up, no. So I'm like,
Interesting.
ooh, it is interesting because there's hot shit going on under the table we're not seeing, dude. There is some absolute shit going on. And I kind of wondered if it's even gone a little bit live. You know what I mean?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. Well, it's interesting because 2023 is coming up here very soon, and a lot of people are predicting that 2023 is going to be brutal in every respect when it comes to economics and things.
Well, you're gonna have
We're already seeing
definitely some problems. Yeah.
even even this early into the winter, it was really nasty cold in America. Um,
Oh,
we're
you
already
guys had that big
seeing
cold front come in last week. Yeah.
it. We're already seeing energy companies, not where I'm at, but other ones like in Tennessee. I think one in Texas, basically begging people not to turn their heat up because they can't keep up with it.
They can't
They can't
maintain
keep up with the gas or anything.
this
When that
self-imposed.
starts to happen, when that happen, exactly, that's happening in the richest country in the history of the world. It's
Mm,
not. There's no excuse for it.
okay,
And
I'll leave the word country there.
well, there's absolutely no excuse for it for that to be happening in America, other than like you said, they're idiots. They're doing it on purpose. Um, so that sort of stuff isn't going to fly. People aren't going to let their children freeze, right? It's just not going to happen. I know people are really, really, really apathetic. The television and the internet and social media have really fried their caring brain, but
Yeah, that's a
watching
bad
their
thing.
child freeze
Mhm,
is going to fix
mhm.
that in a hurry.
Oh,
Quick,
yeah.
fast, and in a hurry.
Well, Europeans are
So,
definitely in for a hard winter.
yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
I honestly think what they're planning, what the big dogs are planning, is an economic collapse, a true one. The petrodollar's on its way out. It's already starting to happen. China's already getting ready to replace it and has in many respects. Um, that is it for the American hegemony. That's it. Unless we start
Mm,
going full on imperial and just start literally conquering places and actually conquering them and not just blowing them up and rebuilding them for some reason. I still don't know what the strategy is there. Um, unless we
we're
do
the good
that,
guys.
yeah, we'll kill you and then fix your house, but I'm
Mhm.
dead.
Yay.
Details.
Yay.
Um, unless we start doing that, you're going to see a massive global shift, and I think 2023 is going to be where that really starts to kick off. It's not going to all happen
Yeah.
in one year. I
No,
hope not. That'd be a
you're
hell of a
you're
year.
right. And of course, they've been building up China since the late '60s, to be honest with you, or early
Yep.
'70s. And they've shifted their way away from Japan and into China proper. And they've been look how much money they spent, and they've done a lot in that time. But China is in some serious situations right now. It might backfire because they're financially, literally a paper tiger. I mean, they're financially really not in a good place. But they have other problems. They had that uprising, the white paper uprising here, and there was a little bit of pushback, a little bit of government violence, local stuff, and then the CCP general said, "Nope, stop it." right? And
Hmm.
what they did was they lifted all the COVID stuff. They just instantly lifted it. But at the same time, they sent people out. They made sure that they were spreading COVID around,
Yep.
right? They literally did that. I'm not bullshitting you. And also another problem that people don't really understand, one of the reasons why they lifted is because Beijing was absolutely being devastated by COVID in
Mm.
Beijing, and they were trying to hide it. So they just opened it up and they let people move like they would, and they would send people specifically. They literally trying to affect the country as much as they can now. And of course, we have this big pop. And then the CCP turn around, see, hey, you asked us for it, we gave it to you, but we were right, you were wrong. Is what they're doing. But they're manufacturing in the most Machiavellian way possible, right? It's unconscionable, is what it is. But so China is in a real heavy situation right now. So I understand that these European bankers have put a lot of their money and finances over the past 50 years into trying to make China into what they want it to be. I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. We'll have to see, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it'd be better for everybody if it fails, to be honest.
Well, yes
Probably
and
for all of the
no.
world.
If it succeeded, it would be wonderful for Japan, actually, because the thing is, Chinese people know their products suck, and they love Japanese products. And the Japanese make a lot of their money off of China now, less so off of the other places than they used to.
Hmm.
But that's a selfish take. But never
Well,
mind.
Japan will be fine though.
Oh
Japan
yeah,
is the one place in the world that's going to be fine. Probably just about anything, unless they get like nuked again. And this would be like honestly, the people are too resilient. They're
well,
not
that
gonna
might
fall
actually
apart.
be a good thing. It might unify them. I think. Let me see.
Yeah,
Where would I choose? Osaka. Yeah, let's get rid of
yeah.
that one. It's
I
full of a
think
bunch of
a
Koreans anyway.
a renationalistic Japan would be a good thing. Honestly, now not necessarily full on militaristic like they
Well, there's
were.
no way you can't go that direction. That's been that
Yeah,
access has been blocked. But a more I mean, it's either one way or the other. I also think that Japan could easily turn itself into the Switzerland of Asia, and that
yeah.
would be a way to go. It's probably, I think, the most profitable in the long run. But I just don't know that they have the financial push that the Zionists have to get that done. Because
Yep.
one thing we have to keep in mind, I know a lot of people just kind of roll their eyes at me. You have to understand that the treasury of Egypt is still at play, right? I know
Yeah.
that sounds ridiculous. We're talking 4,000 years, but it is. The treasury of Egypt is still at play. Where do you think these groups get all their gold and money from? Where do you think it's coming from?
Right.
Attila? Where do you think? Sorry, that was too deep a history cut. I'm sorry, but I mean, it's still in play, and the Japanese don't have that level of foundational wealth. They just don't.
But what they do have, and what you don't understand because you're not in the West anymore, is they have the best people on Earth.
Well, as
They
far
just
as
do.
capable workers, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, best workers, they're the most highly moral people. At least they don't, break too many laws. At least not like violent laws or whatever.
Oh no, no, no. It's
Um,
quite peaceful. Yeah.
the only other places that have that same level of peace are incredibly authoritarian. Right? They have extremely strict laws and harsh penalties for breaking them, whereas Japan is far more lax comparatively.
Comparative, yeah.
And the only reason they can do that is because, like I said, the Japanese people are awesome.
Well, yeah,
Besides,
because in
besides
general,
the genuine Christian populations that actually live their values, the Japanese people are the best people on the
well,
planet.
because there's two reasons for that. One, they don't bite the hand that feeds them, right?
Yep.
And two, what they want is to be peacefully left the fuck alone, right?
Yep.
And the government understands that, probably because they're Japanese and they want the same damn thing. Yeah. But anyway,
Crazy, right?
a great Christmas political conversation, very very fun. We should move on to something more neutral. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Here we go. Oh shit, that's not where I wanted to go. Hold on a second. That's not where I wanted to go. Sorry. Hold on a second. I hit the wrong button. All right, here we go.
Wrong button.
Wrong button. It was a twitch. I had it. When you get old, you get twitches. I thought
Yeah.
we'd just take a look at this page and just look at headlines real quick and just see what's going on in the entertainment world because we talk about entertainment stuff here a lot just for fun. But I thought we'd take a look at that and look at some of these headlines. They're bringing back David Tennant. And they're doing a Christmas special, I guess next year, I would suppose, because Christmas is, well, today. Yeah. So it's a trailer though, so maybe it dropped today. I don't know. But what do you think about this? Is there can you save Doctor Who? Is it
No.
savable?
No. No, it's done.
Yeah,
First of all, they completely destroyed the lore of the entire character
they did.
with the last Doctor. The fact that they made the Doctor a woman completely turned myself and my wife off from ever wanting to watch it.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, they went
no, it's
deeper
done.
than that. It was way more than
Oh yeah.
just a female doctor, dude. They went deep,
Yeah.
deep woke. But I think the reason why it's done is different than some of the IPs we talk about because Doctor Who's always been this goofy British thing, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of us grew up with it, and there's a lot of nostalgia and love for it. And to be fair, the David Tennant run was the best they've ever done as far as production value, right? But it's still a goofy British sci-fi thing, right? And therefore, what it had going for it was its goofy nostalgia, right? And they burned that to the fucking ground, dude, right?
Yep.
And it just doesn't have the legs of, say, a Star Trek or a Star Wars. And they've done everything they can to burn those down too, particularly Star Wars. But it doesn't have those kind of legs, right? There is no
Right.
Doctor Who that is equivalent to the Wrath of Khan. There just isn't, right?
Right.
So I think that's the problem. It was, you had this goofy little nostalgia thing that people were loving, and it doesn't have anything more, and you burned it. So I kind of think I think it's done. So,
Yep.
although I do love
No,
David
it's done.
Tennant, though he's great.
I mean, the 60th anniversary special might be cool. David Tennant's going to be in it.
Well, it's very traditional.
They're going to do, I guess, 3 specials with Tennant, and then they're going to hand it off to the next Doctor, who is a black gay man. So there you go.
Yeah,
They
it's
haven't learned their
ridiculous.
lesson at
No
all.
one's going to watch that shit. Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
But oh well. Of course, I grew up with the Baker era, and I do love that. And it's horribly cheesy and extremely cheap B movie schlock. Although I did appreciate David Tennant. The favorite thing I've ever seen him in, though, oddly enough, was with Collins. Was it? I think it's Collins. In the Fright Night remake. He
Oh
was
yeah,
great.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
great remake, and he was really
yeah,
good in it.
yeah. Wasn't bad at all. I just watched that recently with the wife actually. He did
Yeah,
pretty good.
what's the guy's name again that does Penguin? He's a killer actor.
Colin Farrell.
Colin, I had it backwards. Colin Farrell. Yeah, Colin Farrell is
Yeah,
in that. He's awesome though. That dude. Everything. Have you seen The Gentleman yet?
I have not.
Oh my God, dude! It is a Guy Ritchie movie of all Guy Ritchie movies. It's like the quintessential Guy Ritchie movie. It's awesome, dude. If you haven't seen The Gentleman, go watch that. It's just Matthew McConaughey absolutely kills it. Colin Farrell kills it. Another guy who's really good in it is that Notting Hill guy. I can never remember his name. He's the romantic lead British guy. What's his name?
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant plays a gay guy in it, and he's freaking
Oh
awesome, dude.
boy.
No, he's awesome, dude. I'm telling you, go watch that movie. It's spectacular. But moving down here, Zachary Levi defends James Gunn Shazam. Of course he does, because you're still there. That's why. But
Right. He wants his job.
he
Yeah.
wants his job. So how long are you going to be there, Zach? I don't know. Because your first movie rather sucked balls. Oh, dude, this I thought was weird. They are actually promoting this movie.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. He must be somebody's son or something, or he knows where all the bodies are buried. I mean, he's done every crime you can think of, pretty much, and yet he's still there, and they're still promoting him. So
Yeah,
I don't get it.
we're
I
not
won't
going
be
to see
watching
any
it. I don't
more of
want
him
anything to do with
past
him.
though. We won't see more of him after though. It's his last
You
hurrah.
say that. You say that,
Nah, no way.
but they refuse to cancel this movie, even though James Gunn has made it perfectly clear that all these guys are gone,
True, but
all of
they
them.
probably have over $200 million in it, and then advertising, dude. This is probably pushing 350, 400 million just to break even. I'm
I'm
telling you,
guessing,
it's a
I'm
lot of
guessing
money to leave on the
Zaslav
table.
was told he wasn't allowed to cancel this movie.
hmm Well,
That's got to be
canceling,
it.
canceling a little $90 million that hadn't been promoted yet, Batgirl, is much different than this 400 million plus thing.
Yeah,
It's very different conversation, right? Because we know that a lot of the bullshit with Hollywood and how they spend their money is some weird Ponzi scheme, right?
right.
The Batgirl one didn't get far enough to have the money really start layering. So I understand how that got on the shelf, but this thing, it was in full bore. This should have come out what, a year and a half, 2 years ago? I mean, it should have come out.
Yeah,
So they've
I
pushed
think it
this
was going
way
to come
back,
out in
dude.
2020.
Yeah, no, a long time ago. This thing has been in the
Yeah,
can a long time, and they've gone back at least twice for major reshoots. So, yeah, I kind of get it, but oof, oof,
yeah,
because I think
big
they were
oof.
hoping that rigmarole around Ezra and his nonsense would go away, but I don't know that it will.
No,
I don't know
no,
what
I
it
don't
will
think
because
so.
he's a perfect Me Too candidate, dude. He really
He's a
is.
perfect jail candidate, to be
Yeah, no,
honest. I mean, holy
he
crap.
boy, what a scumbag he turned out to be. I mean, he's a really bad dude, man. It's not like just someone out having fun and getting drunk and drugs and goofing off. Okay, fine. If or okay, fine, right? This is darker than that. This guy is literally trying to be a cult leader. I mean, he's
Yep,
literally trying, right?
yep.
Anyway, Spider-Man 4 definitely happening. Of course it is. It made
Why wouldn't it?
boku
Made
money, man.
almost $2 billion. Almost $2 billion. That movie,
Yeah,
the
no,
last
of
one.
course it's going to come out more, and why not? It was a great little family movie, dude.
Yeah, and
Great fun.
that he's right where he needs to be.
Yeah,
They finally got him to be Spider-Man, and he had at the end the best suit they've ever had in the movies. It was looked so good. I wanted to see more of it,
it
but we
did
only
look
got a
good.
couple glimpses of it.
hmm Brie Larson showing off her half naked superhero bod. Should we look? Should we? No, 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 no.
No,
Flat
I'm
ass. We
okay.
don't need it. Yeah. But of course that's happening, and as it should. Dwayne Johnson comments on hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. He's salty a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
He literally blocked Warner Brothers, and
That's what
now
I heard. Yeah.
he's using the word Marvel now. He's saying Marvel, but yeah, that's completely done, and it's unfortunate because I'm sure some of the nonsense in that movie's come out of himself. His ego's a bit much, to be fair,
No.
and it can get in his own way. To be fair, but when he was on screen, it was fine. He just needed to be this villain. Oh my God, Dwayne, you missed an opportunity. You're actually a good heel, dude, and you are well experienced in it. If
Yeah.
they had made an R-rated Black Adam that was just thundering absolute egotist, oh my God, it would have been freaking epic, dude. It would have been
You,
epic. But nope, nope. He's got to be the hero. He's got to be the good guy. He does nothing villainous in the movie at all. And then once he and, it is, and it, when he's not on screen, it's an absolute disaster. Right. The only noteworthy thing in there would be Piers Bronson, and he was sadly underused. Right. But he's the
yeah.
only actual actor in the goddamn movie. And then when you start getting into the other stuff, oh, that movie was bad, dude. Especially that it's like, why is the little Atom Smasher guy and the little Cyclone girl, why are they even there? For one, and then the annoying little shit kid that was the whole time hoping would die. I mean, oh, it was horrible. But he's done. Don't listen to Dwayne. He's full of shit. He's done. He's absolutely done. If Henry's
Yep.
out, he's out. Without question, he's out, right? Oh well. They screwed it up anyway. Let's see here. Aftershock collapses, files chapter 11. Nah, that sucks. Did you see this one here? Harrison Ford teases Red Hulk. What?
What?
What? He's let him die in peace.
Holy cow, man! He's in his 80s, ain't he? Or he's close to it.
He's old, dude. Let him die in peace, dude. For fuck's sake, we were talking about Shazam. Cena is still a peacemaker. Hey, why not? I think it was successful season, wasn't it?
Yeah, it did
Yeah.
fine from what
I
I
mean, I didn't
understand.
love it, but had its moments. And it's woke too. So you have something that is absolutely woke, but yet it had funness to it because it wasn't slamming you in the head with it, right?
Right.
But yeah, whatever, cool, you know. And of course, same article right here, done, and then saying he's in charge. Okay, good job, Dwayne. Let's see here. The Witcher: Blood Origin getting hammered on Rotten Tomatoes. No shit. No shit. Yeah. 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 Well, I think they're starting to find out that Michelle Yao is a bit of a hack. She needs people around her to be worthy.
Yep.
But they were like, "Oh, we got an Asian lady who can do action. She's front and center." Okay, all right, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see how that work out for you. Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer trailer. Ooh, I didn't even hear about that. That might be interesting. Oppenheimer is a very interesting character. Talk about conflicted. Hmm.
Yeah. It. I saw. I think I saw like a teaser trailer for it. It looks like it could be pretty good. I don't know
It
what
might be.
Nolan's been up to. I haven't watched a Nolan movie in
Yeah, but his
probably since.
sensibility and talking about the creation of the H bomb, um, or the atom bomb, yeah, that might work. That might work.
What's the
Yeah.
last Nolan movie I watched? I honestly don't remember.
Interstellar,
Maybe
probably.
Interstellar. Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
probably.
He really after Dark Knight Rises, he just I don't know, he fell off hard. Like he got too full of his own shit,
Maybe needed a
uh,
break.
and he just couldn't make the same quality that he was making before. Honestly, right? I mean, even Rises wasn't anywhere near as good as the Dark Knight.
Well, lean and mean, dude. You got to be hungry. It's a big part of it.
Yeah,
You know. Anyway, that's not a bad. That's interesting. Interesting. Avatar 2, first Monday. This movie is what $600 million right now, or something like that.
yeah,
And for any other movie, that would be great. This movie needs a minimum $2 billion to even start thinking that it made any money back, right? They put themselves quite in a hole. I think they're thinking long run over the two, three, four, and five, to be able to actually break even or make some possible money. Because you got to keep in mind, 13 years of expenses is not
yeah.
nothing, dude. But the problem with this is it's like the first one, but not as good. And the first one was very mediocre as far as story. I hear it's stunningly beautiful. That's nice, but it's just not a great movie. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to get there. Do you think he will?
No, no.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a appetite for these movies like he was thinking there was. Maybe 8 or 9 years ago, but he waited too damn long. It just took too long.
Yeah, no, he did, and he got a little obsessed. It looks like, but I think that's his type of personality anyway. But yeah, I don't know if this is going to work out. He could have done could have been doing better things along the way. At least he took some time out to put some thought and money behind the Alita. At least there was that. But
Yeah.
whatever. I have a feeling this is going to be a movie that makes a lot of money, but absolutely busts, which is weird. James Gunn responds to Gal Gadot one-on-one with DC reboot rumors, Ray Fisher, and haters. Well, I still say James Gunn is taking the heat for Zaslav here. But either way, um, why would there be any more Gal Gadot or certainly Ray Fisher? It sounds like he's trying to reboot back to the old Tim Burton stuff. That's what it sounds
Yeah.
like he's doing. He's rebooting way back to that. Um,
Which, no, thank you.
we'll see what he does.
I don't.
Uh,
I know. I'm in the minority here. I don't like Tim Burton. I don't like most of his movies. A couple of his animated movies are
he's got a
okay,
couple of good ones.
but I don't like his style. It's all over the top and goofy, and it's
Yeah.
just
No, no,
it's
I get
very
it.
eclectic.
Some people like it. It's one of those things, you like it or you don't. I
Yeah.
get that 100%. But it seems like that was, we'll have to wait and see. Although we are also hearing conversations where he's talking with Matt Reeves and says, "Hey, I like what you're doing. I want to make it our main universe."
Oh
We've heard
Jesus.
that
No,
too.
that's not
Um,
what we want.
no,
What
it's
we
probably not
want,
what we
what
want.
we actually want, I'll put it very simple. Richard Donner. I want
Yeah,
that Superman.
yeah.
Just make that Superman today.
Hmm.
You don't got to remake it, but that whole tone, the whole aesthetic, the veneer of it, give me that and make it
Well,
today. The wholesome farm boy from Kansas who loves his mama and his papa, just loves them.
yep.
His ma and his pa,
Good
actually, as he
man.
calls them.
Yeah.
Good man with a good heart who just cares about helping people. I just want that. You don't got to bring in cataclysmic events necessarily.
No,
It
you
doesn't have to
don't.
be some big world ending thing.
Nope.
We just need a simple Superman story that establishes the wholesome Boy Scout that he is.
Right. Well, I kind of hope that James Gunn has an understanding. And of course, we don't talk about Saffron much, but I don't think the conversation has anything to do with him. But I hope he has an understanding that go to where has DC been successful in film? Animated.
Yep. Yep.
They are the kings of animated superhero stuff. Marvel is not even close, right? So I mean, and there are a lot of good things to pick. I'm still baffled that we don't have a live action version of Vixen. That little movie that came out, perfect. They could throw it out, it'd be pretty cheap. She's a black female from Africa with the African
Yep.
animal powers. I mean, she's exactly what you guys bitching on about that you want. And it would be fairly cheap to do. Get a solid actress in there, and she could make a couple of little movies, and you could take something like Guardians of the Galaxy or Deadpool, which weren't much of anything, and make them something. You know what I mean? I just don't understand. And just look at the animated stuff that they did. They're really good. I
Yep.
don't know. They're weird. We'll see. What is this? Who are you? Yeah, he's a Gonzalez or rumored for Marvel's fan. What? Fuck off. Fuck off.
I told you. I promise you, if it's gonna be a Hispanic chick. I guarantee it.
Yeah, well,
For
they can't
whatever
do the
reason, that's their
whites.
new thing that they're on. Right, that's their new thing. They won't put white people in roles anymore. So to get one that looks white, they'll just get a Hispanic.
Well, the last time they didn't put one in, I mean, I didn't mind the girl who
Yeah,
did that. Alba, I think her name was. She was cute.
yeah, Jessica Alba.
But she's not. They tried their best to make her a white girl, but she's not a white girl. She's some kind of mulatto. She's cute as hell, though. But
Yeah,
Sue Storm is rather white. She's
yeah,
pretty
she's
white,
pretty white.
pretty white.
Yeah,
Reed you can get away with. What is Reed Richards? What is his nationality? Some kind of Southern
yeah.
German, maybe? Maybe
You could potentially make him look like a Mediterranean or
you
something.
get it.
Little
Reed you
little
can
tan
stretch
on
it.
him.
Yeah, you can stretch
Yeah.
Reed because he's a little bit ambiguous. But Sue, no,
No,
no.
she don't get no whiter.
No, she doesn't. And you can go a little bit with Ben Grimm too, right? You can go a little
Yeah.
bit, if you want to push his genetics a little bit. You can get away with that a little bit. He's a New Yorker. He's a mixed guy. But Sue and her brother, they are like the most Scandinavian you can be,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
But yeah, whatever. Fuck off, Marvel, dude. Ooh, Invincible season 2. People are gonna be excited about that. Did you see
Yeah,
this frickin' teaser for? Oh my God, Tom,
he's a madman. He's an
dude,
absolute madman.
he's the love we've been asking for. He
Here's what
is,
Tom
dude.
Cruise is.
Tom
He's
Cruise
a
is just
man.
love.
He's a man who succeeded so
Hard.
exponentially
Yeah.
that now the only thing that gets him excited is nearly killing himself. So he just keeps trying. One day he's going to probably succeed,
He will.
unfortunately.
He will. We'll get
But
the
he just
news.
keeps doing crazy things, like
Yeah.
sitting on the top of the Burj Khalifa with no harness or nothing, barefoot. That picture. There's a famous picture of him from way back in the day of him doing that. Uh, Stuff like that, or free climbing with no harness. Like, Tom, what are you doing, buddy?
What are you doing, buddy? But no, he is. He just because the thing with Tom Cruise, as weird as he is, and all his fanatical thinking, he understands very simply. You are a movie star. The people pay your salary.
Right.
He gets it. He understands it. He doesn't complain about it. He doesn't argue about it. He just gets it done. And I'm telling you, those Mission Impossible movies are good fun. They are good fun, and they get better. I mean, the best one was
Yep.
when they were in Asia. There, I can't remember which one that was, like the third, or fourth, or fifth, somewhere in there. But that was a killer movie. But yeah, he just makes fun movies, dude. And he's coming off of Maverick. And the thing is, after that mega hit that was Maverick, did you see him get out there, peacocking or doing anything at all?
No.
Nothing.
Biggest movie of his whole career.
He's
He's
just
just like, yeah,
quiet
yeah.
because he gets it. Because
He
he
does
gets
keep
it.
his head down nowadays, doesn't he?
He does, but as he should. He gets it, dude.
I know Tom Cruise is a psychopath,
He
and
is.
he's
Yep.
got very
He's
weird.
a
I mean,
psychopath.
obviously, look what just diving out of a skydiving for no reason. He doesn't need to do these things. Nobody's making him.
Yeah, have you guys
He does it
seen
all
it?
because he wants to.
Let's see if they actually have the clip in here. I mean, if you haven't seen it, maybe they have it in here. Yeah, they do. Watch this dumbass. Get him!
Hey everyone! Here we are over stunning South Africa, and we're filming Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Parts 1 and 2. And I didn't want the year to end without thanking you
So
all
even
for
he has
coming
a
out
sense
to
of
the
humor.
theater. And thank you for supporting Top Gun Maverick. Hey, here's Chris McCoy, writer, director. Hi everybody, hey. Thank you. Hey, listen, we really gotta roll. We gotta get this shot. Oh yeah, we're filming. We gotta get this shot. All right, are you coming? Not on your line. Good luck. Okay. We'll see you down there. Whoa. Oh yeah, thank you for supporting Top Gun Maverick.
This guy.
Whoa.
This guy. And the filmer guy next to him is awesome too.
The honor of a lifetime.
They got a badass mic on him, you know.
That's a good, yeah. How it isn't picking up that wind.
I'm running out of altitude, so I better get back to work. We gotta get this shot. You have a very safe and happy holiday. We'll see you at the movies.
Just clap,
madman.
Clap, man.
December
Absolute
22nd,
madman.
The biggest movie of the year arrives on Paramount
You
Plus.
notice how
Top
the
Gun
initial
Maverick.
gravity, he was like, woo.
He just goes, woo.
Get him, Tom. But yeah, he's he's pure love. Yeah, pure love. But moving on here, Avatar it's an unfortunate situation, really, because in truth, it's just a fun little popcorn movie, and you can go and enjoy it. I mean, the plot and the story and the dialogue is dumb as shit, but it's just a dumb little popcorn movie. The problem is he spent more than $2 billion in the past 13 years to produce it. That's the problem, right? He's put himself in a hole because it's making money and it should make money. It's a fun little movie, I imagine, right? But it's one of those things that I'm gonna wait until it comes onto one of these services I have access to, right? I'm not gonna go to the theater for it, although I probably should, but I won't, right? So I don't know. It's a shame. It's a shame. Ooh, the young Donald Glover. Why don't you put Junior in there, please? Starring in Spider-Man spinoff, Hypno Hustler. Alrighty, that's gay. Nice.
We've officially entered the full-on black exploitation part 2.
Sweet.
That's
we
good.
need more of it, dude. I love the
That's good.
Eddie Murphy in Dolomite. That was great. Did you see that?
I did.
That was great. Go get on him, Eddie. But why don't they put Junior in there? Or actually, I think he's the third. I think Donald Glover was the junior. I think he's the third.
He probably doesn't want it.
Yeah, but it's confusing because I saw the title before I saw the picture. I was like, "Ooh, old man's back." No, no. What do you feel about the son here? How's he doing?
He's not my cup of tea.
He's not horrible though, but he doesn't have that charisma his dad had.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of you
He doesn't
guys
have that
don't know
energy.
him, but we're talking about Maverick. I got a Donald Glover for you movie, Iron Eagle. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Good old Iron Eagle. Iron Eagle's
Yeah.
great. Iron Eagle is much better than Top Gun. The
It's a
first Top
darker
Gun.
movie. It's actually a better movie.
Yes.
Although I think the new Maverick is better than that.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
that's the thing. Tom made a better movie with Maverick. It is much
That
better.
Maverick is one of the best movies I've ever seen in theater.
Oh,
Genuinely.
it's killer.
Like
It's killer.
it's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I haven't been in the theater in the longest time. But I do have this Cineplex in my house here. I just
Yeah.
I bought a new Sony soundbar system. Anyway, but it's nice, dude. I talked my wife into it. I still got it.
He got it.
I
He's
got
got
it.
all of it.
I got all. Oh, it's nice, dude. It's nice.
Oh God, I
Uh,
hope that's not true.
It is, dude. It's a. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about here.
No,
Henry,
not that.
well, we talked about
Not that.
Henry's thing. We don't need to talk about that again because
Yeah.
whew,
No,
that's a hard
that I
press,
do
dude.
hope. That is awesome. That's
Yeah,
good.
but
I hope
it's
he
gonna
kills
be
it.
crazy expensive, dude.
Yeah.
But which one? DC Studios logo hints at Justice League reboot from James Gunn. Yeah, of course he's going to do that. Of course he will.
Yeah. Well, no, but read the subheader. Features the Jim Lee New 52 art. I don't want New 52
Dude.
at all.
When I started listening to James talk about this just a couple of weeks ago, right? This is all brand new, right? This is all happening very fast.
Yeah.
From the way he was talking, it got in my head. They were going to, Zaslav and him were going to go 52. I really got in my head. And the thing is, I know
Well,
you
I'm
don't
out.
like it, but I like it. The initial New
I'm out.
52, I know it didn't go anywhere. But when it started, it was fresh, dude.
Yeah, I don't want it fresh. That's the problem. They keep trying to freshen things up. That's what Man of Steel was. They freshened him up. Yeah, he was real fresh. His
Yeah,
dad
but
was a
dude,
coward, and
New
he murders
50
people.
New 52, Superman is great, dude.
You say so.
No, he is. He's exactly what you want.
Is he wearing the tights?
Eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually. No, thank you. I want them damn little shorts, or I don't want. Don't bring them. If you don't bring Superman with the little gay little shorts, don't bring him at all.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
That's my stance.
Yeah. Okay. But Margot Robbie's Barbie trailer shows off. Oh, really? What's she going to show me? I doubt it.
She's got nothing.
She got nothing.
Like, what's
to
she
show.
gonna show? She don't got no boobies. She don't got no booty.
No.
She used to have decent legs, but not anymore. They lost all their tone because she's out of shape.
Yeah, but she is
Like-
a bit of a cutie though.
Eh,
But she's
face
hit the
is too
wall.
big.
She hit the wall pretty fast, unfortunately.
A lot of
I
these,
don't mind Margot.
Hollywood chicks' faces are too big. Like they're just face.
It's the thing, isn't it? It's the ice chipper chins, yeah.
Yeah.
And why is Cameron trying to want you to have sex with aliens? What are you doing?
I don't
James?
know. I think Cameron's got a
Weirdo.
blue fetish.
Yeah, maybe he does, or he went green this time. More of a Warhammer stuff. People are getting excited, but I would be wary of this, guys. I would be wary of this. And we're getting into kind of old news here, but I just thought it would be interesting to kind of see what the headlines are. Donald Trump launches NFT trading cards. Of course he does. Yeah, what is this? Rings of Power Season 2. No, thank you, ladies. Sorry, ladies, you fucked it up. But anyway, the funny thing is they were trying to push with DC is like, no, Black Adam, he is the bad guy. He is the bad guy. Look at all the bad things he did by killing, evil mercenaries. And it's like, yeah, well, Tony Stark, Iron Man 1, killed a lot of evil mercenaries. A lot.
Lots.
Yeah.
And he quite enjoyed it.
By that definition?
He seemed to quite enjoy it as well.
He did. He was doing good.
He was having a gay old time.
He was. Yeah. But anyway.
And in fact, in Iron Man 2, he said he has successfully privatized world peace. So he apparently was having a grand old time. That's all I'm saying.
That, they always change things to suit what they need at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the actual stuff I picked to talk about today.
Ooh. Alleged plot leak of upcoming MonsterVerse sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong claims to reveal film's villain.
Okay. Now this is a leak spoiler, and it sounds like it is actually quite accurate. So if you don't want to know this, don't la 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 things in the air. Okay. But this is interesting. The article goes through and talks about a little stuff and kind of talking about the fact that something is coming up from the Hollow Earth that follows Kong back up. Right? Okay, that's easy. Easy plot. no, good enough, right? Good enough. But make a guess. Who do you think the villain would be with that
Well,
understanding? Something following him up.
I'm assuming it's going to be a Godzilla villain
Hmm.
because Kong doesn't have
Of
any.
course, yeah, of course, that's true. Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough.
Well, well, it's weird choice, dude. It's a weird choice, and I'll show it to you right here.
What?
Space Godzilla.
Oh no. Wait, how does Space Godzilla come from the center of the
He
planet?
doesn't. He really, really doesn't. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
that don't make no sense.
It doesn't. Yeah.
How'd
It
he
doesn't
get
make any
there?
sense at all. This is a Heisei, one of the Heisei characters in kind of the goofy time. But I don't know. I'm not all into the, but I don't know. Some people prefer the Heisei. The Showa era is certainly more child friendly, right? It's more kids,
Yeah.
family type of kid stuff. Heisei, they try to become a little edgier and darker about it, so it has that factor. But I remember seeing this movie, but then again, it's a Japanese movie, and they suck at making movies, dude.
Yeah, they're
Um,
not good.
they're really not good, and you kind of have to look past all their goofiness to enjoy stuff, which you can do. We do. We just talked about Doctor Who, and that's goofy as hell.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand the choice. There's so many kind of. You know what you could do? Make a new one. You know that's what
Yeah,
Godzilla
why not?
movies do. They make new monsters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
quit recycling them. And you already did all the kind of the best ones anyway. Like the rest of them get silly like this.
Yeah. Just make
So
something new, dude.
let's make a new one.
It's what a great
Why not?
opportunity. Why are you squandering it? You don't need to. Ooh,
Right?
you remember this? Wink, wink. Hey, people, no one who watched Heisei Godzilla. Wink, wink. No, dude, make your own shit, and then you have that plot is perfect. It's a Godzilla movie. It should be simple. Something followed King Kong up. Good enough, dude. Good enough, man.
Now Godzilla and Kong got to deal with it.
And they got to deal with it. And that's perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
But this choice, Space Godzilla. I just don't
No.
understand why they can't get past. We got to make something people know. We go wink, wink, Easter eggs. Why? Godzilla's never done that. They always
Well,
make
not
new
only that,
monsters.
Godzilla's the draw.
Yeah.
Everybody's there to watch him do Godzilla things. So why does it matter? Like, yeah, it was nice watching him fight King Ghidorah and Rodan and all these other guys. That's all cool because
sure.
those are great, and Mothra being in there, but they're not necessary.
Mm-mm.
See, these only exist because Godzilla is already awesome, right? He's the star of the show, so you could easily make something as long as it was cool.
Yeah,
And it
get
made
clever,
at
man.
least
Make
somewhat a
something new.
sense.
Get creative. Yeah.
Yeah, why doesn't get like one that they couldn't really do because they didn't have the technology? What about like a giant snake, like an actual like a serpent or something? That could be
Ooh,
cool.
That would be neat, yeah. Because they've
Yeah.
tried, but I mean, because we got to keep in mind these things are super low budget,
Right.
and that's fine. They're fun. They're supposed to be. Yeah, he does. So stop it, Roger. Roger's being pervert. Ted.
Uh-oh.
Perverse
Uh-oh.
would be the word. Sorry, my brain shut off for half a second. But yeah, I don't know this choice. This is weird. We'll see. It could be great fun. But because like I said, all we really care about is the monster stuff. And looking at the last movie and the one before, maybe they're starting to realize that the human part really doesn't matter.
He
You
is.
know?
I saw him give an interview where he said basically that, where he's like, "That's what the people want. We'll try and focus on the monsters as much as possible."
Yeah.
Because he basically said he just wants to give the audience what they want to see. That's it. He wants to do his job.
Which is just monsters, dude. Yeah, fair enough. And Tarantino had a comment here somewhat recently, and whether you like Quentin or not, he is a highly respected movie maker, and he's a highly successful one, right?
Yep.
And the thing about Quentin, even though he's a weird creeper, he is one of us, though. He really is in the end. And he made a comment I think is very important and is apropos here for Godzilla as well. He said the problem with these Marvel movies, these comic book movies, is that people are not understanding. No one's coming to see Chris Evans. They're coming to see Captain America. Captain
That's
America,
right.
Wolverine, Hulk, they're the draw, not the actor. And a lot of movies are driven by the actor. Ooh, Clint Eastwood's in this one, right?
Right.
But that's not what these movies are. Godzilla is the draw, right?
That's right.
It's not the man in the suit itself, right? And I hope that's what you said. That guy understood. I hope he does get it. And the next one, just kind of cut the people out almost completely, please.
Yeah.
Just
They just need to be there to kind of set a frame and then let the monsters do the monster stuff.
yeah,
That's pretty
because
much all you need.
the one before that, where King of Monsters, is that what it was called?
Yeah.
The humans in that were a bit annoying, but there was a couple of Watanabe moments that were okay. But the last one, Watanabe was horrible in it. And Millie Molly Molly Maga Brown, whatever her name is. Um, she's awful, dude. She's awful. They're trying to sell her hard, man. Have you seen her do anything good? She must have done something good, right?
Just, I mean, the only thing that I wouldn't say she did good, but the thing that made her popular is Stranger Things.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
true, and it was a kid performance. It was fine, but
yeah,
I know that even though they're not for us, they're for 12-year-old girls. The Enola Holmes stuff,
yeah.
where she's the better, smarter Holmes, but they seem to be quite popular though with the little girls. Maybe she's good in that.
I don't know. Her
I
and
haven't
Henry
seen
seem to
it.
get along pretty well. And he plays
Yeah,
Sherlock in those.
well, because he's like Big Brother.
Yeah,
You know, and that's the good thing about Henry. We know he's not trying to hone on that. You
yeah,
know, even though he has dated younger girls, we know that's not his character. Right? And you
right.
listen to the way she talks, he's like a big brother to her. He wraps his arms around her and keeps her happy and warm. And that's good for her. Good, that's a good situation for her to have a
Hmm.
guy looking out for her like that. But because if you listen to her talk, that's how she talks about Henry, right? Which
Yeah,
is interesting because she is a young girl. She must find him radically attractive. I mean, they all do.
one would assume.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but she doesn't talk about him that way. That's a big brother. That's kind of cool. But I don't
well,
know.
because he
Maybe she does a good
established
job in
those
that.
boundaries, right out of the gate.
Well, he probably did,
Um,
and that's cool. Especially young actors coming out like that, having someone looking out for her in that on the set. That's a good thing, dude.
yeah. Well, that's why you saw all these rumors. I don't know if you saw them, but there was all these rumors that came out about Henry. It was supposedly only from one person, and the person immediately deleted it and said, I don't want to get sued or whatever. That he doesn't like women, and he was hard to work with, and he's a video game addict, and he'd show up late all the time to set. And I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
why has not a single one of his co-stars ever even hinted at that?
Right, and
None of
the
the females he's ever worked with has ever even remotely suggested that he was difficult to work with because they're women.
right. Well, the
None of them.
accusations did come out, and we know exactly what they
Yep.
are now. There's two. You ready? Are you ready? You guys ready? This is what Henry did. There was a director lady that wanted him to take his shirt off in some Witcher scene or some situation at that moment, and he was like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other one was he talks about nerd shit.
Yeah, he's a nerd.
Yeah, he's a nerd.
Oh
I
no.
mean, that's
How
it.
dare
That's
he?
that's the extent of the horrible misogyny of Henry Cavill. He
Yeah.
refused to take his shirt off in a scene because he thought it was probably degrading. We don't know why he did. He refused. And he talks about nerd shit. How dare
Well,
he
he's
even?
talked about it before. He doesn't really like to take his shirt off and stuff. I mean, obviously they want him to because he's, jacked, but he feels very gross because the women have no boundaries and they're all
Oh
up
no,
on him and they're
women have.
talking about it
Well,
and like, yeah,
yeah, no, that brings up the one situation that happened before, and they're not complaining about this one, but and this is coming. This is one of the reasons Henry's probably like that because he was doing some scene, some earlier, I don't know what movie, but he was doing they were doing a sex scene, a love scene, and the girl's up on him, and he wasn't able to get himself in the position he wanted to, and she's just going off, right? She's just
yep,
rubbing on him, doing her thing, and he got hard as fucking rock and it pissed him off, right? Because it's not he probably sees it as unprofessional, right? And the way he
right.
thinks, right? But that's probably part of it. He doesn't, I think he's just the kind of nerd dude. I just don't
Yeah,
think
he's an elfin nerd.
he's not a
That's
he's
all.
not he's well, my wife says, according to my wife, that I am, me personally, the Chester. I am the second most gorgeous nerd man on the planet.
The
Second,
second.
second.
I mean, if you're losing to Henry, that's a pretty good
It's
day.
fair.
I
I
think.
can
I
almost
think
stomach
that's a
it.
good day.
Yeah, I can almost stomach it because he is such a nerd. Because I showed you guys looked at the picture and she saw it too. The one where he's holding up that mini he just finished painting is just pure nerd joy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Smile
yeah.
all the way across his
Yeah,
face.
he's
Yeah.
so happy. But whatever. Anyway, I don't know about this, but we'll see. If it's fun, it's fun. And hopefully the director understands and will just minimize the humans, dude. We don't need them. We're here for Godzilla, dude, and
That's right.
Kong. And you're right when we were talking about the last movie because the people in it sucked. But the kaiju Daikaiju action was great, and
Yep.
they did it the right way because Kong, Godzilla versus Kong, who wins? Well, it's got to be Godzilla, right?
Yeah.
But in the end, they and he was thoroughly trounced by
Yep.
Godzilla. But in the end, he got his bit by taking out Mechagodzilla. It was the
Right.
very clever way to do it. Yeah,
It's
it
good
was nice.
booking,
It
as they
was.
call it in wrestling. It's good booking.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing when we talk about booking. And where's my next thing here? So we'll move on to this, and I'll talk about wrestling and booking. Go ahead.
Dwayne Johnson says Black Adam being discussed for, quote, future DC multiverse chapters. James Gunn claims Elseworlds projects are actively happening.
Yeah. Okay, Dwayne. No, stop it. But here's the thing. Talking about you know doing a work and all the stuff that's wrestling based. A lot of people forget, especially the younger people, where Dwayne's coming from. This is a pro wrestler that could work the
That's right.
mic like nobody else. He built himself up inside the WWE or F or whatever it was called when he was in it, to the point that he is literally a legend level wrestler.
Yeah.
He did that. Whether you like him or not, it doesn't matter. He did that, right? He's in the same conversation as lawyer, lawyer. How do I pronounce his name?
Lawler.
Lawler, thank you. And
Oh, I'd
Hulk
say he's bigger.
Hogan and Undertaker. Who was the beer drinking guy? Austin. Um,
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, yeah. I mean, he's in that category, right? And
Yep.
he did that. He did that, right? He busted his ass and he got it done. But that's where he's coming from. He's coming from that world. And I think if you stop for a minute and see what Dwayne has done and all the weird things that are happening and the complaints and noise around him, because there's a lot of noise around Dwayne, right? Whether it be justified or not, there's a lot of noise around him. But I think people forget that. And I believe his entire worldview, particularly when it comes to Hollywood, is from a pro wrestling point of view. I really do. And therefore, what is he doing? Well, he always has to be top billing. He's always working with a jobber. That's how he looks at it, and he sees Vin Diesel and these other guys as being jobbers, right?
Right.
That's how he takes it. And you could say, well, that's not. It's a different environment. It's a different place. It needs a different mindset. Yeah, sure, you're right, but you're assuming Dwayne Johnson's a genius or super smart at all. I mean, he's good
Right.
at what he does, and he brings what he does to the table, and I don't have a problem with that. Do you?
Yeah.
No.
No, I don't have
Some
any
people
problem with
do,
it. Most,
though.
most of his movies are just fine.
Yeah,
In all
they're
honesty.
just little popcorn films. But he's got a lot of hate around him because of his attitude, though. But I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, he's just a wrestler,
Right.
and he's great on the mic, and that's why he transitioned into acting. I mean, what other wrestler transitioned at his level? None. Nobody.
None. No.
Nobody's translated. I mean, John is making a go of it, and he can be fun, but he ain't no Dwayne Johnson, dude.
No. No. He's just not. And
He's
it's
just not. Yeah.
it's very interesting to watch because, like we were talking about booking, I think if they were going to do Elseworlds projects, why in God's name would they not make one with Henry?
Yeah,
If that's
no,
on the table, why would you be like, hey, Henry, fuck off.
no,
We don't want you.
I think his ego's bruised, and he's just trying to do a damage control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's,
And
I
it's
don't
a
think
shame
he
because
expected it.
honestly, the Black Adam movie, while it wasn't good, it was definitely better than some of the worst of Marvel that made more money than it. I would say
Yeah,
it
but
was
what
more
kind of
watchable.
comparison is that? I mean, when he's on the screen, it's fine, even though it's not Black Adam. But the movie sucked balls, dude. It really wasn't a good movie. I mean,
But I would say,
Dwayne was fine.
what would you say the first Black Panther movie or this one's better? What would you say?
Mm,
Exactly. And the
mm,
first Black
I
Panther
would
movie made $1 billion.
probably give it to the first Black Panther because it was more consistent. But but neither one are good though. I mean,
That's my
you're
point.
doing rotten apples and rotten apples here.
But that's my point, though. Those Rotten Apples made $1 billion, and his
Yeah,
didn't make hardly
he
anything.
didn't make hardly anything. And it is a shame. I think he is perfect for Black Adam, and I think
Yep.
when we talk about why did Black Adam, because it's clear when you watch the movie that you can see the remnants of him being the bad guy, and it was washed
Yep.
away. Well, who washed that away? People are blaming, pointing fingers, but I bet you it was Dwayne, dude. I
Probably.
really think it was him, and it's his wrestler facing jobbers thinking. That I really think he wanted to make sure that in the end he was the good guy. I think it was Dwayne's choice, and it's a shame because Mr. Rock, you are a great heel. You should have freaking just dove into that. Oh my god, dude! What a missed opportunity. Like a full-on R-rated Black
Yep.
Adam, absolutely a nihilistic Black Adam, just freaking tearing shit apart.
And the weird thing is you could have kept most of the story they had could have stayed the same.
In general, yeah. Well, what
Yeah,
story?
because you
What
could have.
story? There's no story in
Well,
that movie, dude. There's our crown.
well, listen.
It's there in the very beginning, and then it's gone the rest of the movie until the very end. There's
Well,
no story.
but there is the story of like Inner Gang has taken over, which doesn't make any sense.
Which they didn't even focus on at all.
But you could have done that.
They
though.
could have.
My point is,
You're right.
You could have had that be the story, and he comes back and he's like, "Oh hell no!" And he's just wrecking
Just
these
tearing
dudes.
up because Black
Just tearing
Adam
them up.
is an egotistical shithead. He is, but
Exactly.
he does protect conduct. That is one thing
Correct.
he always does. And you could have.
If they were going to try and make him an anti-hero, that's what they should have done. They should have had it be which they kind of tried to do, but they totally failed.
Oh, they completely screwed it up. But I mean,
because he should have just been brutal.
It
right
should have
from
been,
the get,
and he comes in and he just absolutely trounces Inner Gang. I mean, just tears the shit out of them, and they have to bring in some big bangers to try to deal with him, and you escalate to the big boss fight, right? And it shouldn't have had anything to do with no goddamn Justice Society or some stupid ass crown or dumb ass kid. All of that, just cut it out. It has nothing to do with the movie. If you're going to make a Sabak movie, make a Sabak movie. You shitheads. But it should have been full Inner Gang, him just and with a big old smile on his face, just murdering left and right. Oh my god! And Dwayne would have almost been like the shit out of it, dude.
He should have almost been like Jaws. The shark, and like he's just tearing them apart. And just out and just boom, there he is, and now he's got more of them.
And if you read Black Adam, he's snarky as shit, dude.
Yeah,
and Dwayne is perfect for it. I mean, oh my god.
He's a total prick.
He is a prick. And Dwayne is a prick.
Yeah.
He's good at it.
That's the problem. Dude. He doesn't like that part of himself. Right? When he looks in the mirror, that's who he doesn't want to see.
See, if he wanted to impress me, he would have said, "All right, I'm going to dive into it." And then I'll be like, "All right, good on you, dude. Good on you." A little bit of self-awareness, right? But it was an absolute shame. And of course the box office demonstrated that. And it is what it is. And even Wakanda Forever, which certainly devastated this in the market, did it actually make enough money in the end to pay itself off?
I don't think so. If it did, it just barely did.
I mean, it's because we're these level of this, this Ponzi shit they're doing. The prices have been jacked so high. I mean, you got to remember when it wasn't that long ago, the little movie came out from a guy called Kevin Costner, and it was the most expensive movie ever made by far. By far, it was way more expensive than everything, and of course, it lost shitload of money. And that's called Waterworld. and that was
That's right.
$100 million. And that's
Right.
they laugh at that price now. They're triple,
Yeah,
quadruple that now on average,
yeah.
right?
So, according to Box Office Mojo, Wakanda Forever made 801 million worldwide,
hmm
which
So
means
$400 million.
they only get. Yeah, exactly. Domestic, it had 427 million. International, 373 million. So
maybe it broke even. Maybe.
I'd say, yeah.
Yeah.
That's honestly, that's a flop. I know it's a big number, but the first one made over $1 billion.
It did.
They
It
were
was a
definitely looking
phenomenon.
to make at least that.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
Yeah, no, it might have. It depends. For the first one made money because they didn't put a lot of money into it. This one
Yep.
they put a lot more money in market. You got to keep it in marketing. Marketing can double a budget, dude. Right?
Easily.
Easily. And for them making 400 million, that maybe. But it's certainly not something that they're jumping up and down about. Where I guarantee you that first Black Panther, they were they were elated. I guarantee you, because that thing made money for them. It actually made a lot of money for them. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. You're done anyway, Dwayne. Go over to Marvel. So therefore, the speculation begins because he's said it out loud. So he's going to Marvel, and they're going to drool over him and give him whatever he wants because we know they are. So
Yeah, they need him.
They need him. So therefore, Dwayne Johnson is going over to Marvel. Dwayne's ego will not let him be anything but the victorious hero. It just is the way it is. Just accept it. All right. Unfortunately, it's sad because I wish he would understand this, but whatever. The weird thing is, I'm wider than him. How did that happen? I ain't nowhere near jacked, any even close as jacked as he is. But how did that?
Well, you're not on anywhere near as many steroids either.
That's fair. Well, he's powder. This guy's powder. But whatever. But he's going to Marvel. So speculation is, what character is he going to play? It's going to be a hero. It's got to be a hero. He's got to be one that no one can kick his ass, or even he might take the one drop of blood from the lip. Maybe. Right. So he's got to be that level of hero. So who's he going to be?
I have no idea. Who's even left?
Well, there's a lot left, but
well, I mean, like, who's left that's like him, though, right? Like, who has this
that's
build?
The problem. Yeah, they're gonna have to race swap something.
Yep.
Yep. Doc Samson.
Could be. That's the problem, though. Is there's not a lot of heroes his build, right? That are just big like him, that are left, or that aren't already like taken in some way.
Hey, Alan, what's up? It'd probably have to be a race swapped, and in the end, it might be an X-Man.
Could be an X-Man. Yeah. For some reason, my brain immediately went to Colossus.
Yeah, but he won't take that.
I know, Colossus but it's just great. The image.
Yeah, but he actually could be a great Colossus, but he can't do Russian.
No.
Beast, once again, could be a leading guy, but I don't think he sees it that way. I don't know, dude.
It'd be tough. It'd be tough to find a place for him. If you wanted to do something crazy, because I've heard rumors. Yeah, exactly. I've heard rumors of Sentry coming in.
Yeah,
they could race swap Sentry.
But and no one would care. But about the race swapping because it's The Rock.
Sentry.
But yeah, can
he pull off that bullshit?
Yeah, but Grimlock, can he handle the acting chops required for Sentry? A lot of these comic book characters, they don't need to have much acting, but Sentry does.
Yeah,
I'd say no.
Yeah,
keep him as far away from that as possible.
It's not his strength, because Sentry is literally a schizophrenic. I mean, literally.
Yep.
And he's, I would be more. You're basically asking them to play Legion, and it's like, no. Although that dude they got in the TV show to play Legion, I thought he was great.
Yeah, he did really good. He did really well. The other one they could have him be, just because he has already kind of played a similar character in Black Adam, is Hyperion.
Yeah, but he's a bad guy too, though.
No.
Yeah, but
Nope.
He's one of those guys who's obscure enough that they can make him whatever they need him to be. You see what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
most people don't even know he exists in
Dude,
Marvel.
if he becomes a Hyperion, he gets to have sex with Brie Larson.
Oh God. Okay, I'm not even gonna wish that on him. No, Dwayne, you can't be happy.
No, we like Dwayne. We know he's an egotist, but we like him. But yeah, I don't know. Grimlock, dude, he's going. He definitively said Marvel, just
Yeah,
Marvel. That's all
he
he said.
drained drop
He
Marvel
literally said just
intentionally.
Marvel. So of course they're going to clamor for him. But what do you do with him, dude? Grimlock?
You let him. You just let him play himself, but you don't give him a character. No, no, seriously. Don't.
Just Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, you're just Dwayne Johnson. No, because they're not going to stop the race swapping shit if you give them an out. And I'm not giving them no more outs.
Yeah, fair enough. I understand that argument. I do. Alan also suggests Captain Britain. Or Roger suggests Mr. Sinister. Once again, I think he'd be great bad guy, but he ain't all about that now. His ego
Yeah.
is really in the way of his success, I think.
And that's the other thing. He would probably be better served as playing an all-out villain.
Oh my God, yes.
And I understand the Rock's position on that because one of my you've heard me bitch about this before. Is one of my major bitches about the comic book movies is that this retarded need to kill off the villain in every movie. No, especially it, and Sinister would work because Sinister is a guy who's always working in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Now-
but also Sinister is a flamboyant evil dandy. I mean,
Now,
let's
if you
be
really,
fair. I don't think Dwayne is going to pull Dandy off really well.
Oh well, he did play
Well-
that gay guy in that one movie.
Kinda.
well, I was going to say, if you're going to go the Mister Sinister route, just make him Apocalypse. You already,
That's what I was gonna
say,
done
yeah.
Black Adam. You
Yeah,
can't.
no.
The problem is Apocalypse is going to be a long way off because they haven't even got to the X-Men yet. I doubt they're going to come out with just hey, Apocalypse is here. Screw it. Let's just bring him right in.
Well, they
That's
burned
true.
so many things, though. They burned so many things. He would have been better as Amazo. Oh, come on. Come on, Alan.
But people forget when Apocalypse first came on the scene, he was such a big threat.
He was. Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't.
know what?
He couldn't be tackled with just one X team.
And
So
the thing is, Dwayne does read, even though it's not technically accurate, but he does read New Kingdom Egyptian, though. He does read that
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
now,
I don't
He-
necessarily hate the idea of him playing Beta Ray Bill. The only problem I
wouldn't
have
do it.
with it
He wouldn't do it.
is he wouldn't do it, for one, and for two, they will never write Beta Ray Bill correctly for him to matter. Because the only reason he works is because his introduction arc is perfect. It
Alan's
is the
just
best.
throwing
I
names
say
out
it,
now.
and I'll say it forever. The best Marvel's ever written. That's
Yeah,
why
Beta Ray's
Beta
cool.
Ray Bill's
Beta
popular.
Ray is pretty cool, and he's popular for a reason because he looks like a dumbass.
So
But that's kind
we're
of part of the point. But here's the problem we're running into. I just don't think there's a spot for him at Marvel, dude.
Exactly.
I know Marvel,
Unless he takes
Disney
over
will-
as Nick Fury. Sam Jackson retires.
Well, I mean, they're going to wedge him in somehow, but I just don't know where, dude.
At least that's a race swap they already did. No, it would just be a continuation of a race
Yeah, but
swap.
Sam is too much Nick Cage to. I know he's embodied it.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, eventually Sam's going to have to retire. He's getting pretty old. So they're going to keep using him. Something's going to have to give.
Something eventually. A lot of these guys are working and they should just retire. Harrison Ford is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, but these guys, it is what they are, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
Dwayne's in a
one
bit of a
thing-
quandary.
the problem is that he's too old for some of the roles there, and he's not old enough for other roles.
Now you
Yep.
could adjust it, but I'm just going through my head because I know the Marvel roster really well, and there's a lot of B and C level characters you could easily adapt him to. But
Yeah, because I was thinking Rage of the New Warriors, but he's too old for that.
Oh,
character.
right. But yeah, that's true. But I mean, if you had a really good writer, like what Gunn did with the Guardians of the Galaxy, you could take something obscure and make it a thing. You could. And
Yeah.
if that's true, then there's literally 1,000 things it could be, right?
I'm going to say something that's going to piss both of you off.
Uh-huh.
But the only reason I thought about it is look at that image right there,
Uh-huh.
and look how bald he is.
Uh-huh. Oh,
What if they
fuck
went
you.
crazy and made him
Fuck
Xavier?
you.
I will slap the hell out. I
Fuck
will
you, dude.
drive. I will drive to where you live, Sundara.
Get him, Jim Grimlock. You get him. Get him.
I told you I was going to piss you both off.
Actually, he would be better Magneto, to be fair.
He would, but
yeah.
I don't know if they're ballsy enough to race
But he
swap the
doesn't
Jew.
have the class or refinement to play Magneto.
That's true.
No.
But then again, no one does, except Ian McKellen.
This
he
is a
did kill
different
that.
franchise. This is a different franchise, and it would only be for his voice. But Rock would make a decent Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of stuff where you can hide his face and he would be fine. Yeah, that's true. But the problem is Dwayne's ego has eaten him alive. It really has.
Well, that's all successful people. I mean, to be honest,
It is no. I'm not sitting here dogging on him. I'm just saying that it really has, and it's because he's older. And I guarantee you, keeping that body has become tiresome. I mean, he's older than Hugh, isn't he? No, maybe not. But Hugh Jackman, I
they're
mean,
about the same age somewhere.
somewhere in
range.
similar age. But Hugh, I mean, that's the thing with Hugh, because Hugh doesn't have the ego problem that Dwayne does. At least he doesn't present it. And Hugh sacrificed a lot for all of us, dude. He really did. He put himself through a lot of pain and suffering to play that character. And so does Dwayne.
Yep.
I mean, Dwayne, to be his age and to keep the body the way it is, even with all the chemicals involved and the hormones he's injecting and the everything he's doing, it's a lot of work. It is hard work. Although dude, his ligaments and his bones must be fucking powder, dude.
Yeah.
Because that stuff,
He's
those
50.
steroids and stuff, they're not good for your body, dude. They're really not.
Oh, they're really bad for your heart. He's officially 50. The
Yeah.
Rock is.
Yeah.
May 2nd is his birthday.
So he's
He'll be
my
51
age.
here.
He's way better
Coming
shape
soon.
than I am.
Well, you got that kind of money in steroids. It's a lot easier to stay in shape.
I think it's a lot.
But he
of
does.
hormone
In
things.
fairness to him, he does crazy workouts. Like
He does.
He gets up at like 4 a.m, works out for like 2 hours almost every day, stuff like that. Like
Yeah, no.
he really does that
earned
stuff.
He earned it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing people don't understand about steroids. It's not a magic pill, or
No.
a shot. It's literally just lets you work out more.
Yeah.
That's all it does. It allows you to get water back into your muscle quicker, so you can work out more. That's all it does. And of course,
I'm sure he's
the side effects.
probably on some kind of hormone
He certainly
replacement
is.
therapy
He certainly
too.
is.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely he is. He's on all kind of shit.
Well, here's the problem again. I will say this again. For all the people who complain, oh, see, that's why we have to race swap, because look, there's so few black characters he could play. Yeah, that's because they wasn't allowed to write them because of all your fucking activist groups who bitched and moaned, especially.
Well, he's not even black, so
if you made a black villain, but even still, it was all of them. It wasn't just. Yes, the black activist groups were the loudest, but the female activist groups, the feminists, the gay groups, all of those activist groups, for decades and decades, anytime you wrote a character, and to quote, your boy Zach, if they wasn't the soulful saint, it was a fucking problem. So now guess what? Now you want to do this huge movie franchise, well, what do? Oh, well, we could make him a villain if we just took a white villain. No, why did not we not have black villains? Why is there not a black villain in anywhere in comics that's even on the level of a Mr. Sinister?
Right.
Somebody where if they did a camera shot of him at like an end credit scene, fans would lose their shit. There isn't one.
Well,
Gentlemen?
Kang is in the movies is a black dude, and he's a bad guy, right? Unless they've done something weird and made him a good guy.
Well, we'll see. So far, he's not a bad guy. The
Oh no,
interpretation
he's
in
a
Loki, he
bad
wasn't.
guy. He's bad guy.
The interpretation in Loki, he wasn't a bad guy. The bad guys were coming, and that's why he was doing what he was doing.
Of course.
That's going to be lazy as shit. Now, the other character that I would like to see come to the screen, because I like my supernatural characters, but Rock does not fit this bill either, is Brother Voodoo.
Brother Voodoo.
Yeah, he's too big for Brother Voodoo.
And you need a
Well, it's not just
full on
that. He
black
doesn't.
dude
He
though. You need a
Yeah.
black
he
dude.
he doesn't.
like a Haitian.
You need some real island on
Yeah.
Island
on Brother
black. Yeah,
Voodoo.
you do. Yeah.
And I know they're gonna go, but he's Samoan. That's different island. It's not
Dude,
quite
That's the
the
wrong
same.
island.
This is the wrong
It's the wrong
islands.
islands.
But you know who would make a great Brother Voodoo is the guy who played Hawkman in the Black Adam movie.
Yeah.
He'd
Yeah,
be a
he
great Brother
wouldn't
Voodoo.
suck. It wouldn't suck.
Yeah.
One other option, if they could convince him to play a villain, as long as it was like a main villain.
I'm gonna
like
be
maybe
honest.
that was
The guy,
his caveat.
the guy they
Galactus.
cast as Wonder Man would also be a good Brother Voodoo.
The Rock, I think, could play a perfect Galactus.
Maybe,
I really do.
maybe, but not enough screen time for him, dude.
Well, you could give him more. It just depends. Like if they did something like they did with Infinity War, where it was pretty much just Thanos' movie, you could do that with Galactus. There's enough backstory there for him to get one movie where it's focused mostly on him.
You know what he would be great at? Oh, I just thought of it. You know who he'd be perfect for? Black Adam.
And he was. He looked great.
He's
great.
Perfect, because he's got the body for it. He has that attitude, which they didn't let him do, but he could do a little bit. He did, and he sells as Egyptian, at least new Dynasty's Egyptian. He certainly sells it as that. What a shame, dude. What a shame. And this nonsense about Elseworld projects and stuff like that from Gunn, no, dude, that's deflection. We know what
That's
they're
not
doing.
happening.
They've cleaned house and they're starting over. That's what they're doing. And all the people that were involved before are no longer involved. They're doing a new, fresh start. Now, in the long run, will that be good? I don't know. It'll be a while because we still have a couple of remnants left that have been allowed to come through. The Shazam is a remnant that is coming through. The Flash is a remnant that is coming through. But those have nothing to do with what Gunn is doing or Zazoff is doing.
Right.
So it's going to be a while, and we'll have to wait and see. The only good news, and I think this is really where the Elseworld comment is coming from, because James is a bit cheeky, a little bit.
Yeah.
Those Elseworlds, I guarantee you are Matt Reeves Batman stuff,
Probably.
because they really should keep that separate.
They are, from what I understand. Which, in fairness, if that was your tone, Black Adam could fit in there. Not necessarily in Batman, but in that same vein, of like a grittier, more gritty take.
Yeah.
That could work.
Yeah, no, I have. That's what's happening. So it's going to be a while. I think we'll see Matt Reeves Batman 2 before we see anything from Gunn, actually.
Yeah, probably.
But you never know. He can pop stuff off quick. That little Christmas thing, I doubt took very long to put together, and it was not some serious thing, but it was cute. And that's another thing about James is he is edgy and he is perverse. He is. We know he is. Just go watch the Peacekeeper or Peacemaker. But he also can do wholesome, classic Hallmark, because the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special was cheesy Hallmark Christmas, and it was good. It was.
I have not watched it. I keep hearing it's really good, but I have not watched it.
It's just pure cheese, dude. And Kevin Bacon is wonderful, but it's old, classic Hallmark Christmas shit. And so James can do both. He can. It's heartwarming. It's actually the scene between what's his name? The guy that's he was the first mate. Now he's the new Yondu. But that actor, which is James Gunn's brother, by the way. James Gunn's brother and Kevin Bacon in that little heartwarming scene, that was well done, dude. That was real well done Hallmark. So I'm just saying, keep in mind that James, for as edgy as he is, he can do wholesome. He can.
Right.
And he can do it quick.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah. Although our boy Batista there, he's getting a little bit fat.
Yeah, I noticed that. I don't know what's going on with him, but he is definitely out of shape. 100%. I don't know if he just
what are you
he's just
talking
getting
about?
too old to keep
E-
up with it, or
Eric, maybe, maybe it is a lot of work, dude. Eric says, just go watch Guns PG porn shorts with porn stars and Peanuts characters. Eric, what? But I'm just saying that James can do. He does like the edgy. It's clear. He likes the edgy, perverse, decadent, modern nonsense. He does like it. He prefers it. But I'm just saying he's capable. He's professional enough to do other things. But anyway, let's move on from this. But what a damn shame, man. Wasted. Keeping it on
wasted
comic books though.
potential.
Uh, hmm.
Blue Beetle test screening leak obtained by YouTuber Mr. H Reviews
Which I watched.
claims movies has 90s vibe geared to younger audiences. Praises star. Not even going to try his name. I'm going to just say guy from Cobra Kai because that's who he is. His
Yeah.
name's Silliness.
Well, and this is the third incarnation of Beetle, Blue Beetle, and I'm fine with that. It's one of those characters you can have, people over time playing the role. It's not like Superman, right? And
Yep.
I do like the young Latino version of Blue Beetle. I think my kids grew up watching that one, Young Justice, I guess. Uh, I thought it was a good character. It's very different from the older guys, but in that show, he actually met the original Blue Beetle, and he was actually in the show. So I have no problem with it. I think could be cool. I do watch Mr. H reviews, and his reviews are pretty good. He's almost a movie reviewer, almost.
Almost.
Yeah. Well, there's not many of them. Most of them are like us. They're just talking heads giving their opinion. I mean, to be a
Right.
movie critic, you need to be a true, connoisseur of film. You need to understand how the cameras work, and I mean, all the inner workings. You have to be a truly, knowledgeable master of cinema to be an actual film critic, and there's hardly any of them. They're rare. A matter of fact, I'll throw one out for you, and it's a weird choice, but he's an actual film critic. YMS, your movie sucks. I think his name's Andrew, little gay guy, right? But
What a surprise.
yeah, well, but he's an actual film critic, a real one. His knowledge of film is impeccable. And it's not just, I know a lot of stuff about movies, but I don't know exactly how all the cameras work and all that kind of stuff. He does. I mean, that's what a critic should be. And so YMS that guy is an actual movie critic. Now, you might not agree with, he's a little bit of he likes those kind of arts house films that, we probably don't. But I'm just making a comparison, right? Where Mr. H is almost that. So therefore I do watch him a little bit. So he thinks it's cool, which means we probably would like it. And honestly, because it's a Latino boy, they can just make a movie. They don't have to worry about saying, "Well, this white person over here is bad." Just so you know that white people are bad. They don't have to waste their time with it. Although the bad guys
Yeah.
will certainly be white men, I'm sure. But you know what I mean. Since he's a Latino kid, they can just make a movie.
Right.
Although I have to say, I freaking hate this shot. I hate it. It looks like hell. Look at that.
Yeah.
And the thing with the new Blue Beetle is it's an alien technology that he's constantly
Right.
arguing with and having to keep from murdering everything. It's a nice little element. Yeah. Oh God, I hate this outfit, dude. I hate it. Oh God. Ugh. Is this the? What is this? What's going on here? Oh, this is just
I think that's the
Mr.
video
H's
he's talking about.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. This is Cobra Kai. That's Johnny.
Yep. Yeah, that's him as Miguel.
Yeah. Oh, this is him here. All right, cool. So he has a little bit of action experience. That's cool. Now I have a question for you. There's a guy on the internet. His name is Tyler Zed. He doesn't give his full name, and he does like laugh and you lose type of stuff. Just looking at stupid TikTok stuff. You know who he is?
No.
Yeah. Well, His name is Tyler Zed, as in Z. And everyone keeps because he looks exactly like William Zabka, exactly. And everyone's saying, "Well, how's your dad doing?" And he refuses to 100% acknowledge it. But I'm telling you, it's his kid. It is his kid. It is Tyler Zabka. He was an Air Force kid. He started YouTube. He's married now, and he's quite likable, actually. But go watch it, the Tyler Zed stuff, and it's obviously Zabka's kid. It's obviously Zabka's kid. He looks exactly like his father. I don't know why he's so hesitant to connect himself to it, but he is.
That's funny.
It is, yeah. Maybe.
Oh wow, he really does. Yeah, I'm looking him up right now. He looks exactly like him.
And his name's Tyler Z, right? Zabka.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think
Yeah.
he just doesn't want to get in the way of his dad's career. He doesn't, because he says he's one of us, right? So he'll laugh at the stupidity. He doesn't want to hurt his dad's career, probably. But yeah, it's clearly his kid, dude. It's clearly his kid. And good for Susan. Susan, more drugs, Susan. You need more
Holy cow,
drugs,
Susan.
Susan. Okay.
She has become a meme.
Oh, we have a beetle. Okay, I don't know. Hopefully it's good though. I just saw this and I thought, Mr. H, his opinion and eyes tend to be similar, so it might be good. Nice. I hate the
Yeah, let's
outfit.
hope so. I'm not a big fan of Blue Beetle, at least not that interpretation of it, but just because I don't know. I don't know what it's trying to be. It's a confusing character.
Well, you
But
have
if
three,
they do
right?
it well,
you have the
it could work.
scientist one, you have the archaeologist one who found literally an artifact, and then you have this kid who ends up with alien technology that's constantly trying to murder the world, and he's trying to control it and use it for the opposite. They're very different.
Yep.
They're extremely different. And yeah, like I said, my kids watched this on I think it was Young Justice. I think that's where it was, or Teen Titans, or somewhere. And it was fun little character, dude. And the fact
Yeah.
that he was Latino meant nothing, by the way.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Like I said, I've never understood the point of it. Like, what's a lot of characters have like an overarching point to them, like what they represent or whatever. And for me, he just never had that.
Yeah.
Now they could potentially do that with this movie, especially if they make it a very wholesome movie, and I'd really appreciate that. I'd like that because that's what I want. Damn it, DC, you're the wholesome one. Be the wholesome one. Just be what you are. Stop trying to be what you're not.
Yeah.
This idea that everything has to be Batman is stupid. Stop it.
Eric is confusing my brain. He's using the words PG and porn together. I don't understand.
I'm gonna explain it to you. On YouTube, you can find PG porn, and what it is it's literally porn, but it's been heavily censored, so you can't see any of the porn parts.
Okay.
I don't know why
So
people
it's
do this,
porn. It's just censored porn.
but it exists.
Well, that's weird. Yeah, I know. I've only
Yeah.
seen porn a couple times in my life outside of a magazine. But what was it? I was at a party, a couple of parties, and there was porn playing on the wall at the party. But then again, I have lived porn, which I prefer.
Wall porn. Wall porn.
Well, it's just at a party edginess, and they have porn playing. I've been to a couple of those, and I've certainly done raunchy shit myself. But I just never really been a porn dude. I don't know. I'm
Well,
not
nowadays
against
it's
it.
practically unmissable.
Yeah, no, it is a little bit overwhelming. And for me, I mainly my interaction with porn over the past 20 years has been dodging it because I
Yeah.
have kids in the house, right? Of course, the
Right.
funny thing is they're probably more aware of the lewdness in the world than I am now.
Probably.
Yeah, well, whatever. But maybe this is good news. It could be good news. This next thing, I don't think so.
Charlie Cox confirms Daredevil Born Again will attempt to appeal to a slightly younger audience. I told you. I try. Everybody's like, I want Daredevil back. Careful what you wish for.
You don't. No, you don't. Because
Careful what you wish for.
that's him couching. He's couching his words.
That's
appeal
right.
to a slightly younger audience. No, they're going full woke.
Yeah.
You're going to
They
be a
already did. I
transgender,
mean,
Charlie.
basically,
You're going to be a
he
transgender.
was already a simp. He got to do the walk of shame for some reason.
When?
I mean,
How?
they've already ruined this
Oh, the
character. I hope
She-Hulk
everybody
thing. Yeah, the
understands.
She-Hulk thing.
Yeah, it's just going to get worse. They're just going to batter him down even more,
Yeah, this is unfortunate for
emasculate him at every
Charlie.
opportunity.
But he needs the money.
He must.
I'm sure he does. He's not a big banger. But yeah, it's going to be depressing, which is sad because the original Daredevil was, the TV Netflix show was pretty solid. It was pretty solid. The stuff around it wasn't great. I think Luke Cage, the first half of season one wasn't bad, but it was really all about Charlie and what he did. And of course,
Yep.
Charlie, he did it without having a sexy Asian girl doing all the action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a beautiful Nubian goddess.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But how many scratches, bumps, pulls, breaks, stresses do you think he got making that frickin' show, dude?
A lot.
Because that's him. That ain't a stunt coordinator, by the way. That's him.
Getting his ass
Especially
beat.
episode 3 of season 1. Jesus. That's one of the best fight scenes ever put on camera, dude.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's freaking fantastic. But yeah, Grimlock, would you like to sing a sayonara to Charlie here?
No.
Yeah,
It's exactly. I mean, to be honest, like you guys said, nobody's surprised by this.
No.
Disney's going to Disney. I mean, Daredevil was a really good show on Netflix, and what made it good was because it was allowed to be Daredevil.
It was.
Disney's not going to do that.
Yeah. And it was allowed to be
at
Daredevil.
least the people who's running things currently at Disney.
And it was allowed to be Daredevil in a TV setting. The thing is, if you up the budget to a serious like movie budget, wow! I mean, imagine what they could have done with it. But no, you're 100% right. He was allowed to be Daredevil, and all his foibles, because he has a lot of them, right?
Yep.
And that's a good thing about him. And one of the major parts of Daredevil is his Catholicism. It's a very important part of the character, And
well, don't
Disney
worry. They're
ain't
going to
touching
strip that away.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're going to strip that away real
Disney
fast.
hates the religious people. They hate them, and it's weird because I'll say something controversial. Most of the Disney stockholders are Jews.
Oh,
Oh,
hold on. You're not allowed to say. You're not allowed to notice that, Chester.
I'm not.
When it's all a bunch of Jews, it's a coincidence. Didn't you hear Dave Chappelle?
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I should listen.
He told everybody the rules. He didn't make the rule. He just told people what the rules are.
That's the rule. Yeah. But yeah, Disney hates the religion stuff. They didn't used to, but they do now. Anyway, let's move on here to this little thing right here. I thought was worth talking about.
After the disaster of Terminator Dark Fate, James Cameron claims franchise relaunch discussion shares the direction he would take it. James, buddy, friend, amigo, compadre, it's over.
Yeah.
It had a good run. Terminator it got 2 good movies.
Well,
but it's over.
To be fair, in this interview, he was more honest than he usually is, and he does have an idea for him taking the helm completely away from who was that last guy who did it? Ted, Tom, some dude, right? And he wants to do it. He wants to focus on the AI itself, which could be interesting. But mainly in this article, he's talking about the failure that was Terminator Dark Fate. And he agrees that they got too myopic, and they were huffing their own supply, is the word he used. And he's right. They did. Because he was the director. I think his name's Ted, something like that. Whoever the director was, the guy that couldn't shut his damn mouth for Terminator Dark Fate. But he desperately wanted Linda Hamilton and Arnold Schwarzenegger. He wanted Linda Hamilton, but not Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it was James here that insisted he have Arnold. He demanded it.
Yep.
Right? So The only reason Arnold's in that is because of James. And if you watch the movie, you can tell that's true. Because this guy who made Terminator Dark Fate, he wanted a full female cast. And it was all about the ladies. And James was like, like I said, he thinks they got too myopic, too focused in, because he kind of liked what they were making, but they didn't really see the big picture, and he understands why it failed. So oddly, James Cameron is being quite honest with himself, which is rare for James. So I don't know what to say about
It's a
it.
moment of clarity.
It is. And his idea of focusing on the AI itself for a Terminator might be interesting. It would be very different than what we're used to, but it could, and maybe that's what it needs. But he does go on about this and the problems it had, and the fact that they just didn't Jim, sorry, not Ted, Jim. They just didn't realize the mistakes they were making. But he thinks that he shouldn't have insisted Arnold be brought back, and he should not have allowed Linda to be brought in either, is what he thinks. He thinks they should have been, the old hat should have been left alone, and they should have done something new. And maybe he's right. But they did what they did. But James is not lightly saying, he's literally proactively trying to make a new Terminator happen under his control, 100%. So that's interesting, and I think it depends on Avatar. If it can squeak out get around, it won't make money, but if it can get around that $1 billion, it might give him enough push to get that done. Because keep in mind, Hollywood's all about what have you done for me lately. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
No, what he needs to do, if he's going to make another Terminator, is go back to the first one and do that.
Yeah, or well, he doesn't want to do that though. He wants to focus on the AI completely. He wants it to be about the becoming human of the AI is what he wants to
Yeah,
do.
I think that's dumb.
Maybe.
He should go back to the
Maybe.
original. The original's tone and
Later,
tenor
Alan.
of basically a horror movie. I think that's how you reboot it. Is you go right back to the original idea and tell that story of a Terminator let loose from the future to kill a specific person, and he's going around serial killing a bunch of people by the same name till he finds the right one.
Yeah,
It's a brilliant concept,
brilliant
actually. It's
concept,
not a
yeah.
terrible concept.
It is. So Alan says it's made upwards of 855 million. Yeah, it needs to make 2 billion just to even think about breaking even. But still, if it can get up around that $1 billion mark, I think he'll still have a lot of push, which is the thing. I don't know, maybe he shouldn't have it, but whatever. I didn't realize how, looking at this picture here, how old that gigantic Scandinavian lady is.
Yeah.
She's an old lady. I didn't realize she was so old. And they really tried to strap her tits down, didn't they? Boy.
Oh yeah.
That must have been uncomfortable. The Latina girl has no tits anyway, so it was easy enough. But they strapped her in, dude. Look at that. You can see it. You can see the strapping on the side, right? Why was it important to them that her tits be removed? What was the deal?
She needs to be as androgynous as possible. It was also the fact that the movie went super fucking woke. Like,
it did go crazy woke, yeah.
All the men were replaced by women. That one was replaced by a brown woman. Like,
which is kind of ridiculous. Yeah,
what are we doing?
What are you doing? What's the point? You're just retelling the story, but from a brown girl's point of view, as if that means anything. But damn, man, that must have been uncomfortable for her. Look, you can see it, dude. Look how hard they strapped her down. She's got like they couldn't even hide it 100%. They tried to hide it, but they got a full on girdle on this lady. They got her strapped in hard, dude. That must have sucked. Oh well, hopefully she got paid. I didn't know how old she was. She is an older lady, although she is quite fit. Good for her. But nevertheless, I just thought it was interesting that James is showing a little bit of self-reflection, which we don't hear out of Hollywood people very much, and particularly James Cameron. I mean, this guy he's almost as oblivious as Neil Breen, and that's saying a lot.
Unfortunately, he's like one of the most successful directors of all time. But yes,
well, that's the difference right there. Yeah, a little bit difference. But he does have that that singular vision that Neil Breen has, because Neil Breen, he's probably the worst of everything when it comes to cinema, acting, movie
Yep.
making, editing, everything. You name a category in cinema, Neil Breen is the worst at it. But he's completely oblivious. He just keeps doing his thing, right?
Keeps going.
And James is kind of that way. The difference is James is a fairly solid movie director, right? And he has
When he
moments of
wants to be.
genius. Well, he has moments of genius too, but he is like that. And for him to take a step back and say, "Yeah, well, maybe that was a mistake," that's rare for this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the second Terminator movie is one of the best movies ever made, still to this day.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. The Mo Howard haircut was most distracting. It was. That is fair. That is fair, sir. But anyway, let's move on to our last little bit here. Top 10 Christmas movies of all time.
Uh-oh.
I'm giving the top 10s another shot. I'm giving another shot, Grimlock. I'm giving them. And you see, they got all kind of top 10s here, but we're going to look at
Glutton
the
for
top 10
punishment, this man.
Hmm?
Glutton for punishment, this man be.
I am. And therefore, we're all going to vote which is the best Christmas movie of all time, since we are broadcasting on Christmas Eve, or Christmas night, the eve of the day after Christmas, actually. What is your best one? Me personally, I really do like the Rankin Bass stuff. It's just so traditional for me. But
Can't go wrong with it.
but what would you choose, Grimlock? What's the best Christmas movie of all time?
That is, man. Considering I was watching A Christmas Story just a little while ago.
It is good. It is good. It's a very solid Christmas movie. That's your vote?
I might go with that because that's always something I can just watch and enjoy.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Most versions of A Christmas Carol, you can't go wrong. Scrooged.
Sure.
Muppet
true.
Christmas Carol because it's Michael Caine.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is true. The Muppets one is a really good one. What do you think, Thundera?
National Lampoon's
Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase. Yeah, it's a fun one.
Absolutely hilarious.
Fun one. Yeah, that is good. But anyway, let's take a look here. All right, here we go. So we got 25 is Scrooge. That's a bit low.
Wow.
Very.
Because that's a lot for a lot of. I would go with the Muppet one. I think is probably the best Christmas Carol. But this Bill Murray one was pretty good movie, dude. It was pretty solid.
It is good.
Yep.
Huh. 25. That's pretty low. All right. White Christmas.
Wow.
Holy.
That's low. That is pretty low.
Which one is this though? Let me check real quick.
That looks
That's
like
the,
this one.
That's the classic.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. Yeah, that's a classic, dude. That is pretty low. Gremlins, fair. Yeah, it's a good Christmas movie. It's fun. Let's see. Thunder gets my vote. Christmas Vacation all the way. Yeah, it's a fun movie, dude. Miracle on 34th Street, Alan says. Yeah, it's another good one. And that's even extra interesting because Santa has been put on
original
trial.
or the remake?
The original, of course, the original. Jesus.
Santa has been put on trial.
He has.
Clarify.
Yeah, no. Of
And
course, it's the
Chester,
original. Yeah,
he wins.
and he wins because he's frickin' Santa.
That's right.
Bastards. All right.
Santa deniers everywhere. I'm sick of it. Sick of it.
Mm-hmm. I actually, one of the things I get the kids to do here in Japan, because there's a few that do it, but I always kind of put it in the kid's head, is sending the Santa Christmas letter. I think it's a nice little bit of Christmas, and and I get the kids to do that. Let's see here. Jingle All the Way. Now, I know people hate this movie, but I actually rather love it.
I like that movie a lot,
Yeah,
too. I
it's
wouldn't
fun.
put it above White Christmas.
No way,
that's
no way.
just
Yeah.
nonsense
Well,
talk. But
these are just children voting, is why. I mean, Scrooge should be
I'm
up
guessing.
in the top 10, dude. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Gremlins as well. But Jingle All the Way, it's actually fun. Grimlock, you going to yell at me for that?
I am not.
You know,
I like Jingle All the Way.
we got Sinbad in it. We got Sinbad. He's fighting Arnold.
Sinbad is in it. He is in there.
Man,
And Arnold
I've seen
Schwarzenegger
it.
flies with a jetpack.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen
happens.
recent pictures of Sinbad recovering from his stroke.
Oh,
Oof.
I didn't know we had it.
It really,
Hope he's doing well. I like
yeah.
Sinbad. He's a nice fella.
No, he's not. It's really sad
Oh, that sucks, dude. Why'd you have to tell me that? And on Christmas too.
because you
God.
mentioned him. Because you mentioned him.
Yeah, no,
I-
It's not
Sinbad.
Christmas for you anymore, Chester. It's
Well,
fine.
you know, I hope you get better, dude. I've always liked Sinbad. He's a fun guy, nice guy. He seems like a nice fella.
He seems like a genuine man.
He does.
Genuinely,
Yeah,
like a
Sinbad,
genuine man.
nice dude. Yeah. Anyway, way too low, you dumb frickin' Zoomers. Frosty the Soul Man, number 21. Are you out of your freaking mind?
That's top 5. Come on, man.
This is
Yeah.
top 5 easy, dude. You
That is
know,
a classic.
yeah, this guy's got it. This should be number 1. Maybe no. But it's yeah, the animation is decent. L. Sherlock, dude, get a life. All right. Arthur Chris. Oh, fuck off. All right. The Muppets Christmas Carol. Great. Maybe some people would argue the best Christmas Carol. Way too low. Look how low that is.
Yes, way too
Yeah.
low. And I heard there's a director's cut of that. I did not know that.
Oh, neither did I. But that's a really good movie. It's solid, dude. That's the Henson Company firing on all cylinders, dude.
And it's got Michael Caine.
And it's got
Yes.
Michael Caine. That's true. But yeah, no, you know. hmm
Who's perfect for Scrooge, by the way. He's perfect.
Way too. Yeah, Michael Caine's awesome. Way too low. Miracle on 34th Street. Is this the
That's
original?
the remake.
It-
No, that's
it-
the remake.
No, this is the. I do like this actor though, but god damn it! Hopefully it's the other
See?
one's higher. These Zoomers, dude. Dr. Seuss, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is literally a lifestyle movie, but not. This is not the original. This is Carrie's one. Although to be fair, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. It is pretty good.
Yeah.
But I hope
But
the
Chuck
other ones are
Jones'
above.
original has to be up there. Because if
It has
it's
to
not,
be. Yeah. He's a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
It's
Nah,
true,
That's
he
a
is.
great song. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. Okay, the original. Okay.
Wow, didn't even make the top 15.
Yeah, no, I think that's a bit low. And to be fair, the other one shouldn't even be on the list. It's nowhere near as good. This
No.
one is spectacular, dude. And this prompted a bunch of songs and music. There's a lot of shit that came out of this movie, you know. It's way too low. Let's see. A Christmas Carol. This is the old one. And it is good though. It is good. I just don't know if it belongs this high. The
1950.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus.
You know, Tim Allen. I did like this movie though.
Yeah, but more than White
No.
Christmas or
No, the
Miracle on
Frosty
34th Street
or
or
no,
Frosty
no way. Yeah, no way.
or Muppets Christmas Carol. Like, come on.
No, it should be below.
I
those
would
two.
honestly, if I was gonna pick, that would have been somewhere in the 20s for me.
Maybe. Yeah,
Santa Claus.
I'm not hating the position of it. It's just the other things below it. But Grimlock, did you like the Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
Yeah, I think it's the right spot for it. I'm just
do
going to
too.
be like the other movies that they put below it. I don't agree with that.
No, I don't. But it is an oddly fun movie. You know, if you're going to
So
put
this
the Santa Claus
is
in
gonna
here,
be
I
interesting.
better get Kurt Russell's Christmas then. No, seriously.
You ready for Die Hard to show up on this list? 'Cause it's gonna-
It better. Let's see. The chat is saying Elf. Elf will definitely be in here, and it should be. I don't like Will Ferrell, but it's a solid movie. Home Alone number 10. Home Alone's probably number 1, dude. Look at the list you're looking at
Could be.
here. No,
Could
well,
be.
seriously,
better
these are
than
Zoomers. It's number 1. Ernest Saves Christmas is getting robbed, dude. It should be on here. but
Ernest
it won't.
always gets robbed. He's been
Yeah, he
forgotten
does.
by the world, and it's a tragedy.
It is a damn
A
tragedy.
tragedy.
It is, dude.
For a generation of us, especially, every Friday when you got out of school and you went to the fucking video store, that's what you made a fucking beeline for the Ernest movies.
Oh yeah, dude. The Ernest movies are great, dude. I love it, especially when he was like possessed. He's so good at that. That guy's body humor is really good. Yeah, no. Looking at this list, I'd put money that Home Alone is number 1.
Let's see. Only one way to find out.
You
I
know,
see Eric has some saltiness for Home Alone.
well, no, I think it deserves to be on the list. I mean, Home Alone is definitely a Christmas movie. Without question, it's a Christmas movie. I just don't know if it should be that high. But I guarantee it will be. The Grinch. I thought we just saw
13.
The Grinch. Hold on a second.
Yeah, but that's the original one. That's Jim Carrey's one, and that's the original one, I think.
Oh, this is the original. They just used Jim Carrey's stuff. Why?
No, that's Jim Carrey's.
No,
And then
This one up here is the original.
but they used
is
Jim
it?
Carrey's art.
Oh wait, yeah, I don't know. They used the wrong boxes because I'm pretty sure.
No, they're even saying it here. Yeah, this is the original. Yeah.
Yeah,
And if 17 is if 17 is the original, it is way too damn low.
Yeah, but I don't mind Jim because his Grinch was pretty well done. I mean, if you're
It
going to
was
try
good,
to
but
embody Dr. Seuss, that's about the best attempt I've seen at it.
it's
I
pretty
mean,
good.
you know.
Pretty good.
hey,
Yeah,
Danny
continue.
DeVito as the Lorax was also a great cast.
Yeah, but that's an animated film though.
Still,
Live action.
Here it
wise.
comes.
Yeah. Here comes what? Die Hard. Yeah. No, I understand that it's on here. It's it's technically
I'm
qualifies
actually
on happening on Christmas. It's not a Christmas movie though. But
Yeah.
I'm actually
Eric
surprised it's at
I just
12.
triggered Eric. Eric's right. Those Home Alone parents should all have those kids taken away by DFS. All right. Fair enough, dude. You get in trouble for that for sure. But Die Hard, okay, I'm not surprised. The Nightmare Before, ooh, that's low, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's shockingly low, actually.
Because that is,
I figured that'd be top 5
well,
with this
just
list.
think how many songs came out of that.
It's one of the few Tim Burton movies that are good.
It's not because it's not a Tim Burton movie.
Correct.
Yeah. Anyway, here we go. We're getting into the top 10
I
now.
hate-
Let's see.
I
Let's
hate.
see. What?
What?
Oh, here it is. How the Grinch.
Oh,
Stole
I don't think
Christmas.
that's a.
They're
Yeah, that's
confusing.
nothing.
So, were there 2 Grinch movies from Jim Carrey?
I don't think so.
Some weirdness, whatever. We ignored it. I don't know what this is. But How the Grinch. This is the original.
So that's the original one.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the original, and it
Yeah,
deserves to
yeah,
be
yeah.
here. Yes, it does. It is a
Yeah.
classic. Yep.
Very confusing what they did
Yep.
there.
I don't know what's going on. Come out to the coast. We'll get together. Have a few laughs. Yeah, true. Yeah. It is a great movie though. Home Alone 2. Oh, I told you it's coming. It's coming. Yeah, this is one with
No.
old Donald in it.
Yep. Well,
But-
not anymore. They've done everything they can to edit him out, but yeah,
Why? He's
because he's problematic.
is he?
He's evil.
But,
He's
when
the
you're
orange
talking
man.
New York, he's kind of a fixture.
And he's not anymore. He moved out of New York. he lives in Florida now.
Smart man.
Oh, I see. Eric has figured it out. All right. I told you, but I mean, it's a fine movie. It just shouldn't be in the top 10. Number 8. Well, at least the Rankin Bass is getting some love. All right, Rudolph
There's
the Red-Nosed
Rudolph.
Reindeer.
Look at him.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Frosty.
I
Or no,
don't
we
even
already did
think I
Frosty.
sang
It's
that song
shocking.
this year. I usually sing the songs to the kids. I don't think I sang that one this year.
Screw Macaulay Culkin. Eric, what did Macaulay Culkin do to you, homie? Like, what happened in the past? Did he slap your kid or something? You brought him up to, hey, McKay, slap.
Yeah. Well, you're right, Alan. Piers Morgan does play a homeless lady. Pigeon lady.
I mean, he does that every day, it
Mhm.
seems.
Well,
You seen the man? Looks
interesting
haggard.
thing, Eric, is you might want to go. It'd probably be a little work, but Red Letter Media, those guys up in Wisconsin, I think they saved his life.
Who, Piers Morgan?
Macaulay Culkin.
Oh.
No, seriously, I think those guys saved his life because he was really in a bad place, dude. But it's interesting. I don't know if you guys watch Red Letter Media or care for them, but their interaction with Macaulay Culkin is interesting. But anyway, Rudolph
Interesting.
8, no problem, happy with it. All right, the Polar Express.
Polar Express is a good time.
It is a solid movie, but should it be 7 though?
It shouldn't be above Rudolph. That's for damn sure. But it's a good movie. It belongs on the list. I don't know if it should be in the top 10, but it belongs on the list.
Well, we got 6 more. So are we going to see The Snowman, that European one that is
I
spectacular,
doubt it.
right?
I
That
doubt
would
it.
be actual having to have some movie knowledge, I guess, right? But that
Yep.
should be on this. That thing is phenomenal. Have you seen that, Grimlock?
No, I don't believe that I have.
Go watch it. The Snowman. I think it's Finnish or something like that. But it's spectacular. Yeah, that's really well done. Ah, da, 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 da. That's where that song comes from. Anyway, let's go. Oh God, here we go. All right, Christmas Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown Christmas. Yeah, okay. It should be in the top 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Classic. Doesn't
yeah,
get any more classic than that.
yeah, yeah. No, it should.
And I found out that the studio didn't want to put Linus's famous speech where he, quotes the Bible and everything and says what Christmas is about. They didn't want to put that in there. And what's his name? The guy who makes this. I can't remember his name now.
Charles Schultz.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh no. We're putting it in there. Or you're not getting the show at all."
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. It's great.
So
It's
it
wonderful.
happened.
Yeah. No, it is a great classic, and the one of the songs out of this is da 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 da
Yeah.
da 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 da. It's such a wonderful
That
song. I
that
played
entire
that.
soundtrack
Oh, it
is
is great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Santa
The
Claus
Vin-
conquers the Martians.
Hey, well, yeah, that's actually a fun movie, dude. That's a good old '60s B schlock. But I played that song at Beacon Plaza in front of a very large crowd. I had a full orchestration behind me. It was quite nice.
Nice.
And I have to say, I've certainly, one of the things I do with the saxophone is, I mean, I could do rock and jazz and blues and all that kind of stuff, but the thing my forte is beautiful sound. That's what I'm really, really good at. It's just round, gorgeous sound. And I don't get to use it a lot, right? Because it's always something more upbeat. But with that song, I could just round those notes so fat. And I got a really good saxophone to do with that kind of stuff too. And oh, it was, I know this is coming off egotistic, but it was good. It was really good. No, it shut the crowd down level good, dude. It was
Good.
gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I just don't get that opportunity very much to play those just beautiful things, but which is sad because it's really what I'm best at. Anyway, 5. Okay, fair, fair, fair.
Nonsense talk. It should be number one.
Nah,
But at least it's in the top 5.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's fine. Yeah, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's great fun. Now,
Part where
which
the
do
cat
you
gets
prefer
fried
this
is.
one over the summer vacation though?
Yeah,
Cool.
I think
Hey,
I
Jeff.
do. And the reason I think I do is because it's less ridiculous. Like the summer one is pretty ridiculous at the
Well,
end.
which is the point,
Yeah. But this one is just a little bit more like
down to earth.
grounded.
Yeah. But anyway, but
He
it's
kidnaps his boss.
he does, yeah. But if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It definitely deserves to be in the top 10 without question. So the top of the list is looking okay. Let's see what number 4 is. It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah, no,
Wow.
yeah. For a
I
lot of
thought
people,
that'd be
that's
either
number
number
1.
1 or 2.
Nah,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, it's fucking Home Alone, dude. I'm telling you.
It's either Home Alone or Elf.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah, one or the
wow.
other. Yeah, that's true.
That hurts my soul.
It does.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, this definitely deserves to be up top. For a lot of people, this is their number 1 Christmas movie without question.
It's one of the best movies ever made, period.
It is
Like,
great. Great
it's
movie.
in the top
And it's
5 of just
dark
about
as
every category.
shit, dude.
Oh, it's
People
so
forget
brutal.
how dark this is.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
about a man
Yeah,
wanting to kill
it really
himself.
is.
It's about suicide. Yeah, the
It's
whole
about
movie's
suicide.
Yeah. But
I haven't seen my movie. Maybe I have. Maybe it's hopefully in the top 3, but I haven't seen A Christmas Story yet.
yeah, no,
on this
weird,
list.
huh? It better be up here.
It's probably next, I bet, number 3.
Well, we're getting in top 3. So we're calling Home Alone, Elf, and A Christmas Story. The Snowman, not to be given any love whatsoever. Or Santa Claus Has Come to Town, or, any of that other stuff.
Another great Rankin Bass.
Yes, dude, Rankin Bass killed it. Save the Neck for me, Clark. Yeah, that's true. All right, number 3, A Christmas Story.
There it
Okay.
is.
Right on. You banged
Um,
on it. Yeah, it is a great movie. It is great fun. Yeah. There's so many memories people have from this movie, so many quotable quotes. There's actual urban legends created out of this freaking movie, dude.
And
Yeah.
for some reason, Netflix decided to make a sequel to that, and I've heard it's actually good.
Well, they got back the original cast. They're just old. This kid is now an
Yeah,
adult with his own family. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I have to check it out.
yeah.
Yeah, have to check it out. Number 2, drum roll, please. Is it Elf or Home Alone? Elf or Home Alone? Hmm. Here we go. Elf. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh God. Now here's the
Next,
thing. I wouldn't even put this on the list personally, but I don't know. I have to take my hatred of Will Ferrell out of the package. Does it deserve to be in the top 25? Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
it probably does, but I'm not a fan of this movie. There's a handful of Will Ferrell movies that I actually like. This isn't one of them. It's a bit too goofy for me.
Ellen says his dog is named
Um,
Ralphie. Sweet.
Bad Santa would have been in this spot before I put Elf.
Oh yeah, Bad Santa's
Bad
not in
Santa's not
here.
on the list,
Oh,
dude.
Bad
Dude.
Santa's amazing.
And dude, where is Kurt Russell's Santa Claus? He sings rock and roll.
That's true.
It's unbelievable.
I don't know.
Anyway, drum roll, please. Anyone want to place bets? Anyway,
Oh, it's Home Alone.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah,
Which
you
is
called it from the beginning.
I did because I called it after about 5, 6 viewings because it's clear that this was made by the voting was young people,
How is
youngsters.
how is Rankin Bass Santa Claus not on this?
I know, right? It's weird. They got Frosty. They got we had the what was the other one?
Rudolph,
here
and they was
a minute
all
ago?
ranked. And Rudolph, and they was all ranked
Rudolph.
too low.
Yeah, no, and Rudolph was quite low, technically, but yeah, it's because they're young people voting on this list.
I
That's
mean, fuck, the Garfield Christmas special is better than some of the shit that's on this list.
oh, absolutely, that's true. It is true.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I like Home Alone fine. I think it's fine, but it's not the best Christmas movie ever made.
I never even thought of that as a Christmas movie when I was a kid. I used to
Well,
watch it.
It technically is.
It's kind of like Die Hard. It happens around Christmas, so therefore Christmas.
Well, it happens on Christmas. So I mean,
Yeah.
it definitely can be thrown into the category. But just like with Die Hard, it's not Christmas themed.
Right.
But it happens on Christmas, right? And I get the argument, but it's not Christmas themed. At least Elf is Christmas themed. Christmas themed. Christmas.
I mean,
Christmas.
Friday
This is
after
all about
Friday
Christmas.
After Next was more Christmas themed than Die Hard.
Well, everything we see below it until we get to number 9 are very although, and I would put Home Alone 2 is more Christmas than the first one.
Than the first
It
one.
is.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say how
Yeah. So, when we look at this list until we get to really Die Hard, these are all very Christmassy. Even The Night Before Christmas is about Christmas, right? But Home Alone and is just happens to happen on Christmas. It doesn't have much to do with it. The second one, they really leaned into the Christmas though, with the pigeon
Right.
lady and all the stuff they were doing. They really leaned into the spirit of the holiday. So that one, in all honesty, should be above this one on this list. Friday 3. Oh, Alan, go to hell.
Yeah, Friday After Next.
Oh,
That
dude,
was
Eric.
Christmas themed.
Yeah, no. Which one?
The
Friday
third Friday
3?
movie, Friday.
It
After
probably
Next.
was. That's
Yeah.
the Ice Cube stuff.
It was.
But
Yeah.
Eric brings up. I brought up the Snowman, which if you haven't seen, go watch that. But Eric brings up another really one, Emmett Otter and the Jug Band Christmas. Dude, that was a lifestyle thing when I was a kid. You guys remember Emmett Otter? You ever seen Emmett Otter?
I think so.
Oh, it's great.
That's
It's
a
stop
long time
motion
ago.
stuff. Yeah, go check out Emmett Otter and the Jug Band Christmas, dude. That's freaking awesome. But watch the Snowman first. That's a good 20, maybe 30 minutes. But matter of fact, let me just bring it up and show it to you because this should have been on the list easy. But it's just the American centricness of our world, unfortunately, because this is not American. but it's absolutely phenomenal, dude.
Why
Yeah,
is Elf so popular? Good question. I
good
would
question.
guess it's because of
Women.
younger people and memes.
Yeah, no,
Well,
that's
that and
definitely it. Well,
young
this is
women
the
love it.
snowman I'm talking about. It's the book here by Raymond Briggs, and they turned it into like a around 30-minute animation. It is spectacular. It is beautiful. There's not a word spoken, by the way. There's no speaking in it. And it's got a very memorable music, which everybody here knows. You've all heard it before, but that's where it comes from. And it's just beautiful and heartwarming. And maybe that's the problem. Because if you haven't noticed, the young people are a bit jaded,
Yes.
Callous.
a little bit callous. Yeah, a little bit. They have no room for just pure love and wholesomeness in their heart. And it's weird because it means they're incomplete. Because I can enjoy the hard, rough, edgy stuff too, but I also have room for A Christmas Story or The Snowman or things like that. Just Frosty the Snowman. This wholesome, simple. What is right is right. You know,
Yep.
and
So,
it's
so
really
not
a shame.
not a question I got for Chester as a musician. Was your favorite Christmas album?
My favorite Christmas album. Oh, that's a tough one, dude. Because I grew up with a lot of them, Elvis and Jim Neighbors and all that stuff. Of course, my parents like. So I grew up with all that stuff. Um, my favorite Christmas song is the "All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth." That's my favorite. But you're gonna think this is weird, but it's either Bing Crosby or Dean Martin.
Those are good choices.
Yeah,
Those are good choices.
yeah.
I have three, but my number one with the bullet. It's not Christmas until I hear this man sing. Is the Nat King Cole Christmas album.
Oh, that is a good one, dude. That is a really good one. Yeah, that is good.
Not only is it not Christmas, you feel closer to Christ after you hear that man sing.
Yeah, no. Nat King Cole's freaking fantastic. It is good. There's a lot of those, those 40s, 50s, 60s albums are really kind of keen to that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, everyone these days, all they listen to is "All I Want for Christmas Is the," and Mariah Carey and all of that
Her,
kind of
fir-
stuff.
her her first. I know it's become a meme, but her first Christmas album was really good.
Yeah, no. She's a great singer, and I do like her stuff. But there are other things in the universe.
Yeah,
It's
and like
either
we mentioned,
her
the
or George Michael.
no, also the Vince Guaraldi, that entire album is just for the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
Yeah, it is
That
really good.
entire album is just amazing,
It is.
and it
Yeah.
scratches two itches. If you love Christmas music and you love good jazz, you don't get much better than the Vince Guaraldi trio on that
No,
album.
that's true. And the thing is, when I had an opportunity to play that song, the I don't even remember the name of it, but the da 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 that one right there.
Yeah,
Because I prepared it, arranged it, and performed it, so I know the song intimately, right?
yeah.
Because I had to do that. And oh, it's freaking gorgeous orchestration, dude. It's beautiful music making.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and that's the thing. We've seen Christmas kind of take a big black eye recently, and it's because of this callous, jaded nature of the young people. They just lost their heart, dude. They've lost their love, or maybe they never
Yeah.
had it. I don't know.
Now,
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
For a lot of
Alvin
them,
and the
it has.
Chipmunks is Alan's favorite. Yeah,
That,
dude, we
that's
all grew up with that, dude. We all grew up with that. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, Mannheim Steamrollers, Christmas is really good. Manhattan Transfers, Christmas is really good too if you're more into fusion stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones, but yeah, no, Bing Crosby kind of owns Christmas though, dude. He
it's
kind of
his now.
does. Yeah, he kind of
Yeah.
owns it. That old crooner. And I know it's weird, only those of you who know that I chose Dean Martin, but I don't know what it is about Dean Martin's Christmas album, but it's really good one.
Dean in his prime had a way of grabbing you.
He did, dude. He did. And it's interesting. We're not mentioning the that other. I don't think he was a Rat Pack member, but he was, kind of sideways affiliated with them and Sinatra. What was his name? The Italian guy. He's still
I know who
around.
you're
I saw
talking
him
about.
singing. Not
I always forget his name.
Tony Bennett. Is it Tony Bennett?
Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett's still around.
Maybe it was Tony
A lot of
Bennett.
people like him. A lot of people do like his.
Yeah, he had a good Christmas album too. But anyway, I need to get on with my day. I got work to get to. I got Greek lessons to teach. This is
Greek.
Nice.
Oh, this and tomorrow are my Greek days now. I got a little now, and then tomorrow I have a lot more. So, oh god. You know the really weird thing, Grimlock, is I'm teaching Greek, but I don't speak it. There's
Don't
something,
tell
Hey,
him that, though.
there's something wrong with the
hey,
world,
me,
isn't there?
hey, me and Thundaro went to public schools where we was taught English by teachers who couldn't speak it. So I mean,
Yeah,
there's
fair.
that.
Fair. Eric makes a good point. Baby, it's cold outside with Esther Williams and Ricardo Montalban, Betty Garrett, and Red Skelton. But yeah,
I'll
no, this
take
is a great
Trans
classic.
Siberian Orchestra over all of them.
Oh,
All of them.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is
That,
awesome.
that,
Yeah.
that is a good choice
That's
as
a
well.
It's
I
good.
mean,
that is an amazing show, by the way.
It
Went and
is.
saw
It
it
is.
last year. Unbelievable.
Well, I mean, Christmas gets the most love out of any holiday. It does.
It-
I mean, we could sit and do an entire month's shows just on Christmas music. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. And here in Japan, they have no understanding or connection to Yule or the Christian amendments or anything like that. But even here, they absolutely adore the style of Christmas and its music. Yeah, I'm walking around just my normal life here in this little teeny countryside area I live in, and I hear freaking modern Christmas music all the time. I do,
It's
but
good.
Yeah.
Mariah Carey's on a freaking loop, dude.
It's kind of wild because I've seen quite a few IRL Japan streams on Twitch and just seeing how lit up and decorated some of the city areas in Japan is. It's
Oh, it's
like
beautiful.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. And they eat chicken. And then up in the big cities, particularly Tokyo, it's the one night a year the girls go out and have sex.
Well, at least they're doing it
Yeah.
one night a year.
At least one
Shit.
night a year. Yeah. And the thing is, a good chunk, like nearly half of them, are like they don't actually care who they have sex with. They just want sex on Christmas Eve for some reason. It's very Tokyo thing. Let's be fair. That's not Japan. But it is weird. It is weird. But it's Japan. They do the illuminations and the decorations are everywhere. It's spectacular. The kids get presents. They get a present. Sorry, one. And they usually leave the present by the kid's head.
Interesting.
It is weird, or by the foot of their futon, or some even leave it at the front door as if it were delivered. They don't put them on the Christmas trees, so that's different. They don't have the stocking tradition. The Christmas Santa letter is growing in popularity. The leaving out snacks for the Santa is half and half. So they certainly have adopted some things. And I actually asked the kids, and it was good. Half my class were leaving stuff out. I was like, "What are you leaving for Santa?" And of course, they're all leaving mochi and manju. And I was like, I told them, I said, "No, no, no. Santa likes none of those things. Santa wants cookies, chocolate chip."
Yeah, preferably.
Well,
He wants some cookies.
force the the eaters of them to eat something better than frickin' manju.
Ugh, I don't. Japanese desserts are gross. I'm gonna be honest with
They
you.
are. They are.
They're just
certainly
nasty.
gross. They are nasty. Anyway, I really got to go. I'm past my time. I got to get going.
Get out of here, Chester. Go
Yeah, yeah.
teach people Greek that you don't speak.
That's right. It's so wrong, dude. It's so wrong. But it is what it is. Anyway, Grimlock, give me your final words, dude.
Well, I hope everybody had a very merry and safe Christmas. Got to be with your loved ones, whoever they are. And next week is a whole new year, so let's wrap this up.
Yeah, that's true. All right, then, everybody. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. I I'm assuming we're going to do. Well, I thought we were going to do a Bugbear's Basement last week, but it didn't happen. So hopefully it happens this week. We are off for Drone and Quarter this week, although those guys might be doing something. So keep an eye out for that. They might do it on Rabbit's channel. But I have family coming in and stuff, so I can't do it. But I'll definitely see you guys back here on next Monday or Sunday. Your Sunday. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Thundera.
I don't have anything special today. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Oh, it's very nice. Later, everybody.